Run, Juanito, run. It is midday and you have important business. School is a time for refreshments, for jokes and laughter. It is a time for quietness, for pleasant games and gentle amusements. It is a fine day and school is out. It is a day, Juanito, and you have had your lunch. But your father is hungry. It is for this reason you run, leaving behind the games, the amusements. Run now for the food your mother has prepared. He also may eat and rest and refresh himself. This is the story of Juanito and his father Juan Tomas Garcia, and his mother Maria, his sister Petra, his little brother Jesus, and the baby Conchita. This is the story of a part of the United States, the island of Puerto Rico. The story of the people who live on that island. This is a land where many live by farming, where a man's living comes from tobacco or coffee or citrus or sugar. Whatever the crop, the work is hard, the sun is hot. The work is hard, the land is poor. It is difficult for a man to earn a living. This is the story of how people are, how they act with each other, how they are happy and contented or miserable and afraid, the problems they have. Island, the land itself, the poverty on the land, have much to do with the nature of a man, a woman, a child. But the nature of people, the way they are, grows out of other things too. It grows out of the feelings a man has, the way he feels toward the men he works with, toward his wife, his children. This is a story of some of those feelings that men and women have, how those feelings affect the children, how they help to mold the way a child grows, the way he develops into a man, the kind of man he will be.
In Before, there's no actual answer to chicken and the egg. Each has their own origin point, and it's an infinite regress scenario. So the point is like that it couldn't be an infinite regress, right? Like it couldn't. Otherwise, it would be an unintelligible question, I imagine. Like if you were able to ask which one of them came first, you are operating under the assumption that one of those things did come first. If you have to go all the way back,
he just skips the chicken and egg question.
I'm not skipping any questions. I'm settling them. Okay, let's settle this. Is the game we're playing today? It's weird. Hold on. I'm Charis. Hold on. I'm Charis Euphranor. I'm the first and last philosopher VTuber, the last librarian of Alexandria. Which is now like a philosophy thing. I don't know, man. I haven't figured it out yet. Hello. We're playing Let's Settle This. There you go. I said the title. I said the title of the game before I got into anything else, and that really tripped me up because I'm usually I get into the game after like I'm done yapping for 40 minutes. I don't, or like 30, I don't remember.
It's the egg so long as the egg doesn't have to have a chicken in it.
I wonder what would have in it. What it would have in it then.
Hi.
Hello,
There's a
hello
game
everyone.
called Let's Settle This.
There is a game called Let's Settle This. It's a video game. It's not a video game. I lied to you immediately out the gate. I started lying to you. There's a there's a game online which is just like, it's not a game. It's like you go in and then you just click on the answers and then they tell you how popular your answer was. I think. Really? Eggs? The evolution of eggs predates chickens, Fi? Oh no, that makes sense. Yeah, wait, no, that makes perfect sense. Wait a minute, that makes perfect sense. Hold on, that makes perfect sense. That makes sense because eggs probably hatched other things, right? Like that, like, because the question isn't like which came first, the chicken or the chicken egg. It was just, you know, just the egg, right? So of course the egg came first. Yeah, like we know chickens are like prehistoric, right? Hello, did you not see the first message? I haven't gone back yet. I haven't gone back yet. Stream's over. Biologists have solved the chicken and eggs before philosophers. You have! Probably because the chicken and egg question just isn't very good, but... Hold on, I haven't gone... Okay, fine, hold on. Let me go back into the messages. Hold on. Egg came first because some primitive form of egg to contain a primordial little species has absolutely existed before the modern chicken. Modern chicken, yes, for sure, but I was thinking like, you know, the prehistoric like ancestor of a chicken. But then if I'm thinking that, isn't everything like, don't we all have a prehistoric ancestor that's like the same thing? Like if you go back far enough, like obviously there are branching points, and at some point it was like Homo sapiens for us. But then, you know, if you go back further in standard accepted like Darwinian fashion. Also, is my mic peaking? Hello, sorry, is my mic peaking? Am I being, is this really loud? Is this better?
Yes.
Is this a little
Luca.
better?
Last universal common ancestor.
Your mic is fine. Okay. Luca, last universal common ancestor. Okay, got it. Waiting for the time change to drop. Fuck you. You know what? Maybe it would have okay, genuinely, I kind of just forgot I was streaming today. I actually, because it's been, look, I'm sorry. Or not. Now I'm a little quiet. Okay, hold on. This should be like a happy medium, I think.
Exactly.
That bastard just had to crawl out of the sea and now I gotta pay taxes. I know, right? Go back! No, go back! Me with a time machine. What was I gonna say? So one person said now you're quiet, and the other person said this is better now. What do I do? What do I do? You tell me. This is I have to settle this before I settle anything else. If I didn't DM you, you would have been a meme. No, I would have. Look, yes, I might have overslept. Yes, that's true. I might have overslept, but I didn't. And then like I woke up in time, and I went, oh shit, I gotta have like dinner. And then I went and made dinner, and now I'm fine. Now I'm here. Okay, now I'm here. Don't listen to Zero. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Anyways, yeah, so that's like the goal of today. I think is like the goal of today is we're going to play this game called Let's Settle This, where there are a bunch of debate questions. And it seems like we've solved one of them.
Dinner equals instant ramen, LOL.
It's not instant ramen. I'm not getting into details, but it's not instant ramen. Whatever. I have a healthy diet. Okay, like I'm 60 years old. I have to take care of myself. I have to take care of my body. I don't have that many years ahead of me. Look, I have to, I have to eat well. This is like this is a necessity at this point. It's teeny bit peaking, otherwise fine. Okay, hold on. Okay, that should be a little better. This should be a little better then, okay? Anyways, that's, yeah, so today we're settling stuff. We are debating things, and by debating things, I mean, I'm just basically explaining to you why I'm right, because I know I'm right. It's been a while since I've streamed. I have to check on my channel for a bit. How long has it been? since my last stream. Well, my last stream was literally just announcing another stream, really, and it was just like power washing, and that was on the 18th. It's been 10 days, and it wasn't quite like a break. It wasn't like I didn't take a break or anything. I wasn't off enjoying life, and then I just so happened to crawl back and, you know, from some sort of hiatus. I wasn't enjoying it, my like time away
Charis
from stream.
Euphranor is perfect and never wrong.
Hello, Magic. I believe this is your first time here, because I remember seeing you in the debut stream for Philosophy. Now you're here, and you're a member. Welcome. Thank you. You can now spam emotes. I guess that's what it lets you do. That's what it lets you do. L plus ratio plus your fort. Oh, that wasn't directed at me. Okay, never mind. Why are some people green? Some people are green because they have bought my. Thank you for asking. Some people have green names because they have bought, because they buy a membership for this channel where they can pay an amount of money every month to support me. And what they get in return is they get to spam emotes and stuff. And the emotes are pretty cool. A majority of them are made by Art Team, the same person who made my model and everything and has been on this channel once or twice. Some of them have been fan made because you guys really wanted to pelt me with tomatoes. I don't know why you would. But yeah, you can you can do that as well. You can pelt me with tomatoes if you want. That's one of the options. Anyways, I need to start shilling. I need to be more comfortable shilling stuff, because I used to be so uncomfortable, and I still am, but you fake it till you make it, right? And I still am kind of like uncomfortable with shilling stuff. But if you want to spam my emotes,
because I just want the emotes and don't want to support Charis.
And you absolutely can. That was the whole point. So you can, like, people set their member prices. There are limits to it. You can't set it like free reign. There are some options you pick from. But I sort of picked like I intentionally went for the lowest one because I wanted people to have access to it, and I didn't want it to be like a paywall thing, these stickers. I feel like everyone should have access to the emotes. Like I don't like that emotes are paywalled, but they are on YouTube, not on Twitch, but I don't stream on Twitch. So everyone gets to do it here, or like not everyone gets to do it here, but I've tried to make it so that it's the least like financially imposing as it can be. Because I just don't believe in it, really. I don't believe in it. I feel like memberships make sense to support your favorite creators and all that. I think that makes perfect sense. I don't like that emotes are locked behind it. I think even if you were to lock emotes behind it, it should be like an amount of emotes. It shouldn't be like all of them. Everyone should be allowed like 3 emotes or something. Maybe 4. Okay, like 3 or 4. And then when you have membership, you can get up to like 100 maybe. And I feel like that's fair. I feel like that makes it fair. I don't know. If I pay for a higher tier, will you be kinder to me, despite the fact that you think being nice to people is only when they give you money is fucked up? Exactly. You've answered your own question. I will not be nicer to you if you pay a higher tier, because then I'm demonstrating that I'm favoring people that like pay me money, when in fact I actually hate all of you. Default dances in chat. All right. All right. What do we do? We're like getting into arguments, right? Is that like we can do that? I can do that all the time. I'm really good at getting into arguments, and this is one of the things that like I anticipated getting in. Like one of the things I anticipated from the philosophy thing, which I guess maybe I'll spend. Okay, maybe I'll spend like 5 minutes talking about it. Okay, I will not spend too much time talking about this, but I kind of maybe should talk about it. I think like one of the things I anticipate most from philosophy is just more arguments. Like I think more people are gonna come into this channel now knowing, oh, this guy's like a philosopher. This guy, he calls himself a philosopher. This motherfucker calls himself a philosopher. What kind of dumbass? What kind of like what kind of arrogant, big-headed buffoon would deign to not only call themselves a philosopher, but brand themselves as a philosopher with other people that would do the same thing. Like, why would you do that? Are you Kanye West? In which case you got a lot of explaining to do, in the form of a Wall Street Journal ad. But, you know, like, that is intentional and that is expected. And going forward, if somebody comes in to start an argument, I think I will just fire back. You know, I will just drop everything and start arguing back and embrace. Yes, I'm essentially a Redditor. Yes, I don't post anything on Reddit. Oh my god, have you seen that? Like, have I talked about this? I haven't, because I haven't been on stream. I haven't streamed in like a week and a half, right? Have you guys seen the Reddit mod video? It's so good. The Reddit mod, the context is there's a Reddit mod who posted a video complaining that he got his like mod rights removed from a subreddit. And the subreddit's like r/livestream fail, I think, which, you know, is one of the subreddits of all time, if you know that one. And like, it's that person, the Redditor, like the Reddit mod, like looks like a Reddit mod. I'm sorry. Okay, like, because the thing is, look, I don't know what happened in my life that led me to this day, but I feel as though if maybe it's because someone went back in time, actually, but if you sent someone back in time in my life and then just altered something a little bit, like all you had to do was just maybe push me in one direction. Maybe you needed to get me into philosophy like a few years earlier than I got into it, right? If you did that as a time traveler, I would definitely have looked and sounded and acted like that guy. the Reddit mod video. In the Reddit mod video. Now, I don't know if I would have had his thoughts. I don't think I would have been like, I would have been, I don't know, conceited enough. And I know that's big coming from Charis Euphranor, calling someone else conceited. Yes, I know. Pot kettle black. I'm beating you ahead of this game, okay? But like, I don't think I would have been able to make a video demanding Spez Reddit. I think that's his username, the username of the CEO, right? To like give him like lawyers and to demand to be treated like a celebrity. I have no idea what video to. Oh my god. Okay, I have to show you now. I have to show you this. Hold on. Reddit mod video. Oh my god, please. That's just the Penguin Z0 video reaction. I need to.
Hello, Spez, Mr. CEO of Reddit.
I'm sorry. Look, I'm making fun of this guy. Look, I need to be clear. I'm making fun of this guy because what he's saying is worth making fun of. But part of it is really funny to me, and I understand that it might be insensitive. And I'm not implying that everyone but I feel kind of okay making fun of this person because I could have been this person. Like, this is not, I'm not saying like, oh, look at this guy, he's really funny, and implying that, you know, it could never be me. This could have been me, okay? Like, you have to understand that the essence of today's stream is me channeling this energy, okay? It's very important that you know. And I don't mean like the way he looks, as in when I refer to the way he looks and how he looks like a Reddit bot,
Charis,
I don't mean like
imbecile is Portuguese for Kami-oshi, so therefore Charis es un imbecile.
I just don't think that's what the word imbecile means, but anyways, like I need to channel this energy, and when I say, you know, I need to, like, he kind of looks like a Reddit bot, it's not his like natural self, so to speak. I think it's the way he chooses to present himself, the way he chooses to engage, the way he you know, speaks, the way he acts, the demands he's making, the arrogance of it all, the sort of like know-it-all nature in this, that all constitutes the look. Because people's looks are not just like the skin suit that they're born into. People's looks are also like the way they choose to present themselves, right? It's their clothing, it's their mannerisms, it's their inflections, it's their, you know, whatever. It's many more things than just their skin suit. Because I could look like him. I don't, thankfully.
Mercy, please.
I don't. I have to just show you this. Look, I'm just gonna show you this guy. Here's what I mean. Look. I can't. Oh no. Oh shit. I opened my face cam. This is. Oh no. Oh god. I'm doxing myself. This is what I actually look like. Anyways. So, okay. Let's not make fun of the parts of this person that he can't control. Because then I think that's mean and that's unfair and that's generally of bad. It's bad sports. It's bad sportsmanship. It's rude and it's disrespectful and it's like, you know. I think what we should do is we should make fun of people for the choices they make. Right? That's what we should do. We should not make fun of people for shit that's out of their control. Because then it's like, you know, it's out of their control. This isn't something they could have chosen. I'm gonna make fun of this guy primarily for the way he like dresses and acts. When I say that he looks like a Reddit moderator. He looks like a Reddit mod, non-derogatory. It's not derogatory. It's not meant to be derogatory. You hate in others what you hate in yourself. That's exactly right. This person, I could have been this person. There was an opportunity in my life where if I'd went down a different path, I might have been very much like this person, and I would have looked very much like this person. Not because my skin suit, so to speak, is the same, but because like my way of presentation, my mannerisms could have synced up to something quite like this, which I'm very fortunate and thankful for. Or the fact that I'm not like that is something I'm thankful for. You would have had the same aura. I might have. The amount of psychic damage I'm experiencing from this is immaculate. I haven't even played the video yet. You guys haven't even... You heard maybe like 5 seconds just now. You haven't even heard... Okay, I gotta just... Look. No, I don't look like this. I could have looked like this, but I do not. Like, if I had to go out for Halloween and I had to, you know, put on like a... Not a bald cap, but if I had to
just
put
joined
on...
and now I see Cherry supporting bullying.
I don't think he should be bullied because he's a nerd. I think he should be bullied because he's arrogant and he's making the wrong choices and he has zero self-awareness, and I think just a light touch of making fun of would hopefully nudge him in the right direction in life. Okay, and okay, I just have to show you the video. This is I'm not gonna show the whole thing, but
Hello, Spez, Mr. CEO of Reddit. I hope you have received this public video that I have created and sent to you via your email. I'm...
Is it a copy strike me? He might copy strike me. He might. Hold on. I'll just play a little bit more.
Brian, or Stale 2000, or Tarot Card that I have created and sent to you via your email. I'm Brian, or Stale 2000, or Tarot Card. I was the top
Charis Euphranor.
moderator of your #1 gaming subreddit, r/livestreamfail, before I was recently removed from that position by the Reddit Code of Conduct team. There was an announcement related to a live stream related game show called $1 Million Fan. It was basically a game show like Survivor or Big Brother.
Okay, and he goes on to explain. I'm not going to show you the whole thing because then I'm going to get copy struck. But like, basically, this guy, he was a moderator for r/livestreamfails, which is one of the subreddits of all time. It's a relatively large subreddit focused on like streamer content and in particular like controversial streamer stuff. Anyways, he at some point started running a scam. Basically, it's not his scam.
The aura is
I
negative.
I don't think it's his scam. It's someone else's scam that he was peddling. But he was basically shilling this giveaway thing. promoting this fake game show for people, claiming that you could sign up, and if you were chosen, you'd have like an all expense paid like vacation to like a live streamer house, or where you do like epic things with a bunch of other contestants to win prizes or whatever. It was all fake. Like, it turned out all fake, but you had to like, I think you had to pay money to submit an application or something, or something to that. Basically, there was real money being moved in one direction, and it was not to the direction of the audience, I'll tell you that. And so afterwards, when it was revealed and blown up that it was a scam, I think what happened was this guy didn't think it was a scam. Like, I think this guy maybe knew something fishy was going on, but didn't entirely know what he was promoting was bad. Anyways, he got, and so the long and short of it is, once it all blew up in his face, the Reddit admin stepped in and then unmodded this guy. Right, I don't know who the hell the Reddit admins are, but I'm sure it's not Spez, or it might be. I don't know anything. Look, I'm not deep into Reddit, okay? Like, I'll scroll like r/kitchen cell sometimes and like chuckle at some of the funny bits. Like, that's, I don't get deep into the whatever the mod like meta territory of it all is. Anyways, and he got really mad that the admin unmodded him because this is like his life. So like how you unmodded she was, well, I didn't unmod anyone because they were promoting a scam, okay? Whatever. Anyways, this guy actually got unmodded because he was promoting a scam.
You need to do a video like this.
And he then goes on, he went on to like release this public video demanding that the Reddit like admins reinstate his mod rights, but also to expand upon it and like give the moderators more like better treatment, is what he says. He basically wants to turn Reddit moderation into like a talent agency. He wants like Reddit to invest money into like hiring lawyers and like brand and like getting brand deal managers for them or something, because Reddit moderators hold a lot of sway. And he kind of goes on. I have to show you this bit where he like threatens like Twitch. I have to show you this bit. Hold on, where is it?
What if LSF could be part of the show in some way? Test.
This
like
is him explaining the scam.
Compete, prize at the end. Has ever done. I mean, being in a freaking reality TV. I'm a highly paid software engineer working in San Francisco. I do not need, not a secret or very surprising related to the game show, or Reddit moderators have power. They have influence. An even crazier story is the time when some Twitch employees found me in person and borderline begged me to make sure LSF is not used to destroy the multi-billion-dollar company Twitch. None of this would have happened if I had gotten support from Reddit. If Reddit had offered me partnerships...
Okay, this is someone else's cut of the original video. I couldn't find the original video, but this is like a 3-minute cut of it. If you are interested, you can literally just type Reddit mod video, and this is the one. Reddit mods deserve to pay and respect like influencers. That was his take. Yes, because there's multiple things wrong with this, right? Thing one, influencers don't deserve pay and respect either, actually. Fuck them and me, because I'm part of this now. Fuck anyone that's a content creator, okay? They don't deserve your attention and respect. You need to pay and respect yourself and, like, you know, make your own choices and have your own opinions and, like, you know, conceive of the world in your own subjective way. Anyways, that's problem one, is influencers don't deserve that. But problem two is Reddit mods are absolutely not influencers, and in the same way. Now, I'm not saying that Reddit moderation or moderation in general for communities and stuff is like, yeah, it's not a real job, it's a waste of time. That's like, and you're wasting your time, whatever. I might say that ironically, but unironically, right? This is stuff that needs to be done. This is work. It's not recognized as work because of the state of the economy, but it's like, you know, I'm gonna defend this guy. I'm gonna defend this guy now, okay? I'm gonna steel man him before I take him down, okay? I'm gonna steel man this guy. Are you ready? Moderation on internet forums and other things like that is an important job that is not documented by the economy in a similar way, not the same, but in a similar way. To the way, like, childcare is treated. in the economy. Okay, like
Have a fever and couldn't catch start of stream. Now I'm lost.
hello Tia, I hope you get better. I hope your fever gets
Have a
better.
fever and
I've been
couldn't
feeling a
catch
little.
start of
Congratulations
stream.
on the double.
Now I'm lost.
Congratulations on the double. I've been feeling a bit under the weather as well. I don't know why. But anyways, we're talking about this Reddit moderator video, before we get into the let's settle this debates. And what I'm saying is moderation does have some value that is underappreciated and recognized. It's true. It's true. Okay. I think that it's a little bit like childcare, where you don't get valued in the economy for taking care of your child at home. You're not like, contributing to the economy that way. And they don't want that. And the various things, obviously the world's complicated, but over the years, sociopolitical factors have pushed in that direction, partially because of this factor, right? Partially because things like childcare are unvalued, or like not valued as, or underappreciated and undervalued by economic systems, right? There are ways around this, and there are some positive examples, but generally that's sort of like a weak point for now, right? Anyways, that doesn't mean that it deserves, or at least deserves, the financial compensation that this guy is proposing. Like, you can be a Reddit mod, but I think right now, if you're a moderator for any like community or online thing, hello Dara. If you're a moderator or like just somebody in this position, you have to accept that this is free labor. Not because your labor should be free and that it shouldn't be valued in that sense, but it's because you shouldn't be expected to be paid for it. Because if you genuinely do think that, you have a naive view of the world. Right? I'm not positing an ought statement.
Conclusion: he should pay us.
In the sense that, like, Reddit moderators ought to be paid, though. Like, they should be paid. They're not, but they should be. I'm not going to posit that because I'm still undecided. You know what I think should happen is I think people who stay at home to take care of their children should be paid, but I don't understand how the logistics of that would work, because then how do you value that? How do you measure that? Is it just a stipend for every person who has a child? How does it work? How do you split it between the maybe multiple parents, right? Like how will this all work? I don't know the logistics. This is for the economists to figure out, okay? I'm a philosopher VTuber, not an economist VTuber. I actually got paid, though I don't expect it. Twitch mod. Well, like, so that's why, like, I think some people who are mods do get paid, but not by the system, but by the people who benefit from it. So, like, people who own channels, right? So if you're like a Twitch mod for something, then maybe if the content creator is big enough and that it's worth it financially to have that moderation in place, they will pay you compensation for it. And that's cool. That's really cool. I'm not paying you anything if I mod you in this chat, because I don't make any money. I do, but like, it's like I make like peanuts. I make peanuts from this because I have like 700 subscribers, and that makes me not a real person, right? Like, to YouTube, because I don't even qualify for ad revenue yet, but that doesn't matter. Anyways, the point is, yes, exactly. You kind of, mod is a role you do out of love for the community. And because of that, I think, you deserve appreciation and respect in some capacity as a moderator, but you shouldn't be like, you shouldn't get too big-headed about it. Like, this is, at the end of the day, you're volunteering. Now, if you volunteer to charity, that's really great. That's great. That's good. But you aren't a saint just because you've done that. Okay? You aren't like absolved of all of your moral impurities because every few weeks you go to a soup kitchen, or you help out and, help distribute materials and supplies, or blah, 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 blah. That's not, it shouldn't be transactional, the way this works. The way this guy is framing it is of a transactional sort of, like, Reddit moderators are a legitimate job or whatever. I know he mentions, like, oh, I don't need the money. I'm like a well-paid software engineer. which he does look like too, but like I'm a well-paid software engineer in like San Fran or something, which is good for him. Look, frankly, he's probably, if that's true, then he's making more money than I am. That's for sure. But like, but there's a clear ignorance of the way things work. That is really getting to his head, probably. As I suspect, right? That motivates a lot of the ethos in this video. It's funny. It's so funny to laugh at this guy, to make fun of him and go, haha, what a loser. You know, you could do that, and like it is fun to do so. I admit it. I have a lot of joy. I'm like doing so, but he does sort of get at some, accidentally or otherwise, likely accidentally though, a discussion that might be worth having, which is like, is the current way community moderation, or like, you know, online community moderation right now working as intended? Is this the right way to go about things? And it did make me think for a little bit, like, what if I paid my mods? And then I was like, hold on, hang on, I wouldn't even make it equal. Like, my mods have definitely paid me more than I paid my mods. So that was a little bit of cause of reflection, and it did make me a bit more, I guess, like grateful and thankful for the mods that I have, for not making videos like this.
Especially since these communities should be made up of adults who know how to conduct themselves. It was never meant to be a hard role, but the number of trolls and bad actors, I can see thinking.
Yeah. I can see thinking you'd need to pay for a team as well, because then it's like if I had a lot more subs, for example, I would actually have moderation in this channel. I don't right now because I don't need to, because like I can trust that everyone who walks in here is like a normal, well-adjusted, normal is maybe not the right word, but a well-adjusted, polite individual who understands the common courtesy of the internet, and also understands my wrath if you don't if you don't have that basic understanding, and I can just send you to the Shadow Realm myself. It wouldn't be too difficult. But if I had like a lot more viewers, for example, then I would consider moderation to some degree. I definitely would, and I would value moderation, and hopefully I'd be able to pay for that moderation too. I would compensate people for their time, because it would be fun, and you know, you can go on like a power trip if you want, and you know, ban people for a spicy opinion every once in a while. But you know, generally you're abiding by the ethos of the rules of the channel, whatever, and that is like some amount of work. You're upholding principles and rules and enforcing them, and that deserves compensation in some way. This isn't the way to go about it. Me leaving a 10-minute voice memo in the Discord asking to be paid for mod work. Don't do that. Don't. Because you're not gonna be paid for mod work, okay? Look, okay, I gotta, maybe I should make this clear. As long as I'm still indebted to our team, not like figuratively, but like literally indebted to our team right now, no one's getting paid, not even me. Even me? You are not special. You are pennies in a Fortune 500 balance sheet. You are a speck of dust in this cosmic vast, and ultimately nothing more than numbers on a screen. In the same way that I am. I was like halfway going through that, but I lost heart because I was like, I actually felt bad saying that. I'm sorry. I felt like a little bad saying that. I'm sorry. If you needed to hear something else, then I don't know. Then just maybe interpret the message ironically if you want. I know I have my government document here. Okay. Anyways, the long and short of this video is, one, this guy's really funny. And it's so fun making fun of him. Because he is basically the essence. Look, this guy is kind of the platonic form of a Reddit moderator. Like, if I had to generate in my head, if I had to just generate a Reddit moderator, this would be him. This would be the guy. The way he talks, the way he walks, the way he acts, the way he dresses, like everything is Reddit mod territory.
No, even the, I don't know, the Reddit event budget is barely useful. No, they need real material support. That means access to anything that like a talent manager would give an actual celebrity. So an access to a bounty board or ad deals or lawyers or event organizers or professionals or anything that actually matters. To summarize, Reddit moderators should be treated like celebrities or influencers, not because they deserve respect or anything, but because they actually have real power and influence.
What is he talking about? He's talking about how Reddit moderators deserve celebrity status and respect and ad deals and lawyers, which is just like, it's very much, he's a little too lost in the sauce, okay? Like, I think if you're, look, I think, I'm not saying every Redditor should be made fun of. Actually, maybe I am saying that, but okay. I browse Reddit, okay? I'm not like someone who's like, yeah, Redditors are losers, haha, look at this guy. I'm like one of these guys, okay? I'm one of these losers. But like, you have to have a level of self-awareness to know that what you're doing is cringe. And that you are not like this isn't very social, like there's not a lot of social lubrication in what you're doing, okay? Like, you may think that, but like, that's not the case. Like, I'm a VTuber, okay? Like, I know what this is. I'm aware of the VTuber landscape. And I know what I'm not. I know what I am. But I'm also aware of, and I know of, the way people might perceive me. And that has to be in the forefront of my mind every time. I can't think, like, oh, I'm not like the other VTubers. Because even if I weren't...
be able to ask questions to Reddit's legal team.
Hold on, let me get to that in a bit. But what was I saying? Yeah, because even if I were truly, I don't know, more important than the average VTuber, if I thought myself that, or if VTubing or content creation was a more important job, if I truly thought it was a more important job than being a fireman or like a teacher or like a pilot or like anything, excuse my gendered language, I meant firefighter, but I'm tired today and I'm thinking of myself, okay? Then even if I truly thought that, I wouldn't say it. I don't think that. I don't think being a fucking content creator should make you more money than like someone who works in public health, right? Like, I think I don't think that's very right. Exactly. Like, to what extent is debatable, but I just generally am like, you know, I don't equate those two things as being on the same thing. But like, and I say this as someone who's doing one of them, the less productive one. And like, I need to be aware of this, despite the fact that I think what I'm doing is meaningful and important to some degree. This guy has clearly lost it. This guy clearly has just lost touch of reality and genuinely believes he's a more important person than like, I was gonna say a police officer, but now's a bad time to draw that example. Then like a public servant, right? In some capacity. Anywho, this guy's funny. I want to make fun of him. I've already made fun of him. He is very much the platonic form of a Reddit moderator, but and I think in the most brilliant way possible, in that it's not just that he looks, acts, walks, talks like a Reddit moderator, but he also is saying shit that is stereotypically what we would attribute to power trippy, like it would be. He's saying like line for line, like the generic stereotypical things we would label a Reddit moderator who's power tripping as thinking, right? Like, if I don't know if you've ever had this experience, I've had, but if you get banned from like a subreddit or something that you think was unjustifiable, you would in your head think this guy, and you would imagine this guy in your head, and you go, yeah, it's this fucking guy, he's like power tripping. And it's a he, because we're sort of like conditioned to think of moderation as like a, or moderators is like a more male thing. I don't know why. I can't explain why, but this is just sort of like the way we like perceive of things in society, or whatever, man. It's a heteronormative culture we're dealing with, where like you're imagining the most insulting or like loser-ish behavior maybe in the person who like banned you from something. Oh, this guy's no life, he's unemployed, blah, blah, blah. You know, you're probably thinking that in your head. And it's part of what makes it funny is it's like an exaggeration, right? It's playing up these probably somewhat false stereotypes of like moderators. But then this guy shows up with this video, and he is all of those things that you think. That's hilarious. He is like, he has embodied all the all the funny traits. It's like if somebody wrote a sketch. It's as if somebody on like, I don't know, Comedy Central wrote a sketch. Like starring the life of like starring a moderator from Reddit, right? And they're like, you know, going about their day-to-day and their journey, and you'd have like an actor portraying this role and donning the makeup and the wardrobe and all and the behavior and the dial and the inflections and all of that, like all of that in the form of satire. And even then you might think, well, this is too satirical. You know, this is you kind of have to make it a bit more realistic. You gotta give them some sort of like non-stereotypical quality maybe to make it more believable. Like if I were if this were a sketch, I would say it's a little heavy-handed in like the stereotyping, isn't it? It's a little like, if this were fake, or if this were like staged, if this were like an act, it'd be really funny. But I would be like, well, okay, like you kind of went a little too far in your portrayal of the Reddit mod. I feel like, you know, you probably hit too many stereotypes. You got to dial it back down a bit. This is a bit too much of a satire, is what I would say if this were like a sketch. But this, as I understand, is genuine and unironic, and that makes it 10 times funnier. This makes the whole thing 10 times funnier. It is an extraordinary bit. I can't even tell you how much I laughed from this just thinking about it. As a former YouTube mod, he is kind of cooking. I deserve to be revered for doing nothing with a blue name, and that's why you're not anymore. I have the gift of hindsight, and I'm glad I don't have a blue name so that I can say unhinged shit without people being confused when they click into chat. That's why I haven't modded everyone, right? But that's the point. So are we watching Mr. John Reddit defending his people? Look, I'm defending him like a little bit, but I'm also lampooning him the same way everyone else is, because he kind of deserves a little bit of lampooning. He does. I don't hope that he, like, you know, dies and then never gets to like make any choices in his life again. Like, that's not, I want him to hopefully gain from this embarrassing cringe video some amount of self-awareness to realize, oh, people are making fun of me for good reason, and then, you know, change his behavior a bit. Because like, everyone needs that wake-up call. Okay, everyone needs, not everyone, but a lot of people need that wake-up call, me included. Okay, I've had several wake-up calls in my life. Not, thank fuck they weren't nearly as embarrassing as this one. Okay, like, I've had wake-up calls for being cringe and realizing, oh my god, that was like not great, wasn't it? That wasn't technically wrong, but it was so out of place, and it didn't fit the vibe, you know. And you kind of glean from a social situation that, oh yeah, okay, I shouldn't do that again. And you learn, right? You learn. Before you make the bigger mistakes, you do the small mistakes. You test the jokes that bomb. You test the material that doesn't work out in a smaller group, and then you bring it to a bigger stage, right? This guy skipped all the steps, and I'm not gonna armchair psychoanalyze and like, you know, think why, but this guy skipped all the steps and headed straight to like going on the big stage, announcing, like, doing his full set. And bombing so hard that it became funny again. I don't know. I just think like this guy needs some self-awareness in his life, and I think a little bit of making fun of from the internet will do that to you. It might make you too self-conscious. It might backfire in that respect, but he might need it. Look, I'm not saying like take a look at the literal mirror, but what I am saying is take a look at the figurative mirror. And then also maybe also the literal mirror. Like look at both of those mirrors and look inwards if I were to talk to this guy, right? And just ask yourself, what are you doing? Like think about the world that you exist in beyond just internet echo chambers and your moderator authority and like your perceived power, perhaps stemming from an insecurity, from a place of like from a place of insecurity and perhaps like a lack of impact on the lives of others in your life, right? And think about how to address that in a healthy way. That's what I would say. Hello, Yoav. Hello. Do I call you Yoav or Kazoo? Because I think you're Kazoo on Discord, right? I don't know what to call you. Tell me what you want me to call you. I'm just gonna call you whatever your name is here. My echo chamber is the Charis Euphranor server. Get out of here, then. Get out of it. Stop being in an echo chamber. Anyways, I'm done talking about this guy. I need to stop talking about this guy. I need to get it out. But I really needed to get it out of my system. I really wanted to talk about this guy. Kazoo's better. Okay, I'll call you Kazoo then. Can you like change your name on the YouTube thing to show, like, can you add like a nickname to yourself? Is that possible? Or do I just like, or do I have to just remember it? I don't know. I got the most horrifying thought. What if in the future moderators have to take an exam as hard as the Chinese civil worker test, and it's treated as like they treat finals week in Asia? Now, I'm a bit more aware of the finals week in Asia situation. I don't really know much about the Chinese civil worker test. You're gonna have to give me some context for that, but that sounds interesting. As a nightmare scenario, yeah. Why would he think this video is a good idea? Now his employer will find out that he was trying to scam people on the internet and say goodbye to any dates. Sorry. Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Well, okay. I don't. If he had an employer that was willing to hire him for this, or fire him for the person he is, I'm sure this came with the territory. Look, if I hired someone like this guy who behaved in the way this guy is behaving at work, and I'm assuming that, you know, this isn't a total 180. I'm assuming that I'd be able to glean from his glimpses of his personality that he would be the type of person. Then this wouldn't be a big deal to me. It wouldn't surprise me if I employed this guy. If I were like a CEO of a company and employed this guy as a software engineer, I wouldn't be too surprised if he came out and went viral overnight from like a Reddit mod video. I wouldn't be too surprised. And to your second point, say goodbye to any dates. Look, man. Have you seen the dating scene now? It's hard enough as is. It's hard enough as is in the contemporary dating scene. Okay. This isn't gonna change much. This video is not. If anything, this video might enhance his chances in, like, you know, at getting a date, because now he's got some sort of like internet infamy and recognition. If anything, he is actually a little bit like a celebrity now. He got what he wished for. He did. The monkey's paw curled. He is a bit of a celebrity now, and I think people will recognize him. And it will be like, people might even go up to him and ask him for a picture. Okay? He might actually get treated like a celebrity. But not for the reasons he thought it was gonna be. So if anything, actually, this video might have improved his odds at getting dates. You know what? It might have. Like, imagine, you know, I don't know if you're on a dating app or whatever, like one of those absolute, I was gonna say hell site, but like hell apps, where they make you whatever, where they make you like swipe between people, and you saw this guy's profile with that image of that, like with this. If you saw this as a thumbnail and the description was like Reddit mod, wouldn't a part of you want to swipe right is to accept, right? Wouldn't a part of you want to swipe right? Wouldn't you go like, yes, I want to talk to this guy? Especially if you knew from like, if you knew this video, if you saw this guy in your dating pool, wouldn't you kind of want to swipe right and at least talk to them? Maybe to make fun of him or whatever, right? But like, you know, you would at least, so you know what, it might actually improve his chances. That's all I'm saying. In this economy, some would swipe right because he has a job. Yeah. If it's as he claims, he is a software engineer in San Fran, he's probably making like some money. So you know what, like he might get swiped just for that. I don't know. A lol cow isn't really a celebrity. Okay, well, you know, that's for him to decide. Okay, that's for this guy. I forgot his name. What's his name? Tell me your name again, sir.
Hello, Spez, Mr. CEO of Reddit. I hope you have received this public video that I have created and sent to you via your email. I'm Brian, or Stale
Brian. Anyways, okay, I need to stop. talking about this guy. I need to stop talking about him. He's living in my head. I'm so sorry that the first hour of the stream is just me talking about this Reddit mod guy. He's been living in my head the past week. I needed to get it out of my system, okay? Being a little cow is kind of awful, though. I feel like the whole culture around it is hella fucked up, you know? That's true. Okay, you're extending the olive branch, and because of that, I need to take the opportunity to also expand on that a bit further. It is awful, the culture around making fun of people online. I think like there is an appropriate threshold of jostling and making fun of. But like, you know, it usually goes too far because like many things on the internet, things go too far. I hope that he learns from the embarrassment, but I hope this doesn't like follow him for the rest of his life. I hope that I hope Ryan gets like a wake-up call and he kind of like realigns himself and reinvents himself and becomes a much better person, and maybe even continue being a moderator, but with the awareness and like knowledge of the current climate of things and why what he was demanding in this video, or the things he was demanding, are just simply absurd, right? I joined late. What did Brian claim? He's a Reddit mod that claimed that her former Reddit mod, because he got like removed from a subreddit for peddling a scam, who claimed that moderators, one, that he should be reinstated as a moderator, but two, moderators should have like, I think the word he uses is resources, like a talent agency. He literally makes the comparison to a talent agency, like he uses the word celebrity. He's like, we should be treated like celebrities. Not because we deserve it or anything, but because we have a lot of power, is like what he says in that like intonation as well. That's basically what this guy says, and it's really funny because he kind of he very much lives up to the stereotype. I understand stereotypes and living up to them, okay? I'm a VTuber. I'm a VTuber. I understand stereotypes and living up to them. So I'm not, this isn't pot calling the kettle black so much as it is, this is like, I can empathize and deeply relate to this person in some way that borders on uncomfortable, which is why I have to make fun of it and give my thoughts on it so I can like ease my mind on the matter. Focus. Okay, we're doing it's been 1 hour. It's been a whole hour. Okay, it's been a whole hour of me baffling. Sorry. We're gonna play the game today. We're gonna play Let's Settle This. Hello. I was gonna say hello, Reddit community. I'm so sorry.
Minor detour.
It was a minor detour. Yeah, minor hour-long detour. Hello, I am Charis Euphranor. I'm the first and last philosopher VTuber, the last librarian of Alexandria, and today we're going to play Let's Settle This. What does that mean? We are going to read through some questions and answer them, and I'm going to explain to you why I'm right, basically. The premise of the game is just to have arguments with chat. That's what this game feels like, and you know what? I'm ready for that right now. Can you spell de Beauvoir? B-E-A-U-V-O-I-R. Beauvoir. You're welcome. Internet debates have raged for too long. It's time to settle the big questions so we can move on. Look, I'm just saying the Reddit mod thing was relevant because that's the essence of today's stream. The essence of today's stream is channeling our inner Redditor, okay, and arguing over useless bullshit. Okay, that's the point. That's the point of today. That's the point of today's stream. How do you pronounce this 3-letter acronym? Is it GIF or is it GIF? Can I like zoom in on this? Hold on. I can zoom in. I can. Whoop. Okay. So this is unfair. This question, the way it's propositioned, is biased. GIF. I ain't no fucking Brit. It's not. I don't think it's an American British distinction. I think this is like. Hang on one second. I almost knocked over my monitor for a second. I'm back. Didn't the maker of the GIF settle this? GAF. So, I think the way this question has been proposed is a little unfair because they've got like the icon for the thing here, GIF, right? Like a GIF, and they've got like an icon for a different thing. Is this jam? I don't know what this is exactly. For GIF. It's majority GIF here, I think. In this chat. Isn't GIF a thing because the peanut butter is pronounced that way? I wasn't aware of that brand, I think. But that makes sense. That would make sense to me. And I feel like there's already a bias in play. Okay.
Jif is a really popular American brand of peanut butter.
Okay. I'm not American, okay? I'm not American. I know all of you are, or like 80% of you are, but whatever. I think it's more like half, but half of you all are American, statistically. Maker of the GIF says it's GIF, and I choose to fucking ignore that because of phonics. GIF is a really... Yeah, okay. I choose to ignore this because it's stupid. So the creator of the creator... There's a clash, right? The creator of the GIF has called it GIF. And I think Oxford Dictionary calls it like GIF. I think. And that's I think the main clash. I think every other debate point is relatively moot. I feel like those are the two strongest sources of argumentation, or at least if you want to draw from authority. If you want to I guess draw from common sense and say okay, well, it's gift, not like gift. You can also say what can you say?
I think it's partly about descriptivism.
It's gender,
vs.
not gender.
Prescriptivism in relation to the correct pronunciation.
Descriptivism versus prescriptivism. Is it that? Let's think. Yeah. It might be. I don't know. I feel like I don't think that's what the debate is. I think the debate is largely on, I don't know. Is it language ambiguity? I'm not quite sure. You know what? That's a good thought. I'm going to keep it in my mind. I think that's a good thought. Graphics interchange format. So the word graphics is pronounced with a hard, like, is it a hard G, or like, what do you call g? What do you call g? What's the word for g? What's the word for g and what's the word for j? Because they're both G. What's the word for gun? Is it hard and soft G? Is that the distinction? That's the distinction, right? Okay. I need to make sure. I actually did. You know, I never thought of this. I never thought about this. Like, I know, okay. The way I used to pronounce it is I actually used to read out the whole acronym. I used to read it as like a GIF. And then as I did that, the more I said GIF, I sort of just like shorthanded it to GIF. And then I started hearing other people refer to it as GIF, and I learned through social interaction that GIF was the more widely accepted thing. Now, the way I pronounce this depends on the person I'm talking to. I think I will lead with GIF. I'll say, you know, have you seen that GIF? Or GIF, whatever. I'll say, or GIF, whatever. The first time I mentioned it to a person. And then I record their response in my head. Like, is this person saying GIF or GIF then in this conversation? If they're saying GIF or GIF, if they're saying GIF, I'm going to stick with GIF. If they say GIF, I'm going to stick with GIF for the rest of the conversation with this person. People pleasing ass. It's not like it's... okay, maybe, but like maybe it is, but it's also like the way people pronounce things, right? Like I like to, when there's any sort of like ambiguity, I tend to just stick with whatever the other person's using, because the goal of a conversation isn't to be right. Because I know I'm right. I know in the grand scheme of things, I'm probably right. So my goal in a conversation isn't to assert my rightness, my correctness. Okay, I don't need that shit. I don't need to assert that I've got the best understanding of the subject matter or whatever. Like, I don't need to assert that. I feel okay not doing that. And because that's the case, I will just say whatever the other person's saying, just so we can get the point across. Like, what matters is the conversation. I'm not going to insist and be like, actually, it's GIF or it's GIF, unless I'm being annoying on purpose. If I'm being annoying on purpose and I'm talking to this person, I'm trying to like start a conversation. Maybe I'm trying to just be antagonistic as a piece in a larger bit, right? And a larger sort of running rapport that I have with this person, then I might be antagonistic. And if this person said GIF, I'd be like, it's actually GIF. And if this person said GIF, I'd say it's actually GIF, and then get into an argument because it'd be funny. But most of the time, I'm actually playing both sides and then adapting to what the other person is saying. Now, what happens in a group conversation, you might ask, Charis Euphranor? What do you do in a group conversation? In a group conversation, I will randomly use both pronunciations sporadically. Like, I will alternate between the two of them. I will say GIF sometimes, and then I'll say GIF. And if called out on it, I will go on this entire spiel that I'm going on right now as a way to make conversation. So actually, the correct answer is to how you pronounce GIF, this graphics interchange format, right? Is that what this is? Is whichever works best for your social situation. You're very welcome. I used to spell out the acronym for Call of Duty, COD. That's a bit long. I know people say COD. Because I didn't play Call of Duty, but I've heard people use the shorthand COD. So I've just called it cod. And also there's like, it's like a real word. Cod is a real word. It's like a fish, right? So cod makes sense to me. GIF is millennial coded. Is that right? Everyone around me pronounces it as GIF. Millennial exposed. Whatever the other person wants. What are you No, it's not whatever the other person wants. It's when I'm getting to know somebody, it's whatever the person wants. And then when I really know somebody, it's whatever annoys them. It's initially whatever they want, and then when I get to know them, it's the thing that kind of pisses them off, and then we get into a whole conversation about it. Okay, that's what it is. On my own, if I'm reading something, I actually just use both. I use both. I've said GIF and GIF on stream before. I think I will go with GIF if I had to choose between the two. If I had to okay, no. So I think this is the more popular option. GIF is probably the more popular option. Maybe there's something to the idea that GIF is millennial coded. I don't know. I don't know exactly. I'm 60 years old, okay? So that's not my crowd. But I think this is going to be more popular, and I think there's no real correct answer. If you made me pick a correct answer, it might be GIF. Because, well, for no reason whatsoever. Because I've just heard it more referred to as GIF. So I'm going to pick GIF. Holy shit! What? What? I've never heard of GIF. I've never heard GIF among my group of friends because I will bully them into either saying GIF or not saying it. You hate free speech. That's what that's you. That's you. 84%? 84? 84? 84? No, it should have. Oh, look, I knew it would be more popular, but I was thinking like 60%. I was thinking 60-40. I was thinking at most 70-30, but even that would have been pushing it. 84? Oh my god. I guess this is what the council has decided. This is what the community has decided. Okay, with 13 million votes, it's 84% GIF. Interesting. I knew that was more popular, but I didn't know it was that much more popular. Interesting. Okay. We're gonna move on. Is the dress blue and black or white and gold? There was a stream I did. I don't remember which one. I don't remember when I said this and did this because I don't like it had nothing to do with the game I was playing. I was just pure yapping. I think I said something along the line. I think at some point on stream, I was worried that I was colorblind. And then like I brought up this image as an example, and it was the worst example I could have brought up. How? Sorry, I need to like. Okay, this is okay. All right. I need like another image. It's literally blue. It's literally white.
How do people see white?
It's actually white here. It's white with like. So the key is in the lighting, right? The key is in the lighting. I have isolated the lighting from my eyes. Or at least the way I've seen it is like... Okay, hold on. The dress. This is the one I think I was looking for. Yeah, there you go. That's fucked up. Like, I still don't understand this. I still don't get it. He's rage baiting. I promise you I'm not rage baiting for this one. I promise you I'm not rage baiting for this one. Gold is not a color. It's not. It's that color. That's what I see. I really genuinely see this. I actually genuinely only see the picture on the right. And to me, the picture on the left and the right look very different, even with the filter on. And this through line in between for color is fucking me up. This is fucking me up. Like, I actually cannot believe this is the same shade as this. Because I look at this and I'm like, that's white. I look at this and I think that's blue. And I just can't fathom the fact that in the middle, it's the same fucking color. That's crazy to me. That's crazy. If you've never seen white and gold, this is what white and gold is. This is what white and gold people see, okay? It might have been Volcano Princess when someone questioned if you were colorblind. Maybe, I don't know. It could have been that, yeah. But like, I brought this up and I've had that extensive conversation there, so I'm not gonna like retread too much of the same ground. But this image is what explains the phenomenon. And like, I think this is not a trick. This probably actually explains it. And I'm probably like, you know, like this feels right. This feels like this is correct scientific method or whatever. And I am persuaded that I'm wrong. I've been persuaded extensively, and I think convincingly, that it is black and blue. But I can't see it in my head. And I think that was what led me to the colorblind conversation. Because I was like, what the fuck is happening? Am I colorblind? What's going on? I don't know anymore. I've never seen blue and black. I still can't. Because I'm looking at this now trying to see that it's like, I can't understand this. These are, like, how are these the same colors?
I remember learning to switch between seeing with G and B/W at will back in the day.
Oh my god, I just saw it! Holy shit! What I did was I just like, oh my god, I've never been able to see it before. I just put my like hands in front of my eyes and then I covered, you can't see this. I put my hands in front of my eyes and I covered like the frame of this dress, the blue and black. I covered the frame of it and only focused on the lighting of the box. And now I see white and gold. That's fucking me up. That's crazy. That's crazy. What? I've seen optical illusions. I love optical illusions. Optical illusions. I love optical illusions. Okay, like, sorry, I should have given like a warning maybe. Oh, my eyes. Sorry. Let's go on live science. Oh my god, this is weird. Yep, okay. I know what this is, but but this, you know what this is like? This is all of these optical illusions are designed to be optical illusions. That's why I've been like, oh, cool, whatever. And I've not been like that tripped up by them. Because I've been like, well, that they were designed to provoke this sensation in my mind. Me looking at this dress is fucking me up because it's not like, I don't think this image was intended to, or if it was, it's very cleverly well hidden, intended to deceive you, right? It wasn't, I don't think it was intended to provoke this optical illusion in your mind. It was merely just an image that people were arguing over, and for good reason, I imagine. I remember learning to switch between seeing white gold and blue and black and blue at will back in the day. I think I can do that with this image. I can do that. I think it was explained it looked gold and white. If it looked gold and white, it indicated that you need prescription glasses, so the light is messing with your perception. You got me there. You got me there. I need prescription glasses. That's true. So maybe that's what that is. You have photokeratitis from looking at the sun too much. I hate looking at the sun. That couldn't be me. Research suggests that people who see white and gold are more active in the morning because they're accustomed to bright natural sunlight, which the brain filters out. True, actually, I like that more. I like that one more. The prescription glasses explanation, I don't know. It made me seem like just, oh, this is just a condition that you have, whatever. I like the explanation that it's because I go out and touch grass in the morning. That's why. That's true. It's because I interact with the real world, guys. That's why. That's why it's like white and gold to me. It's not because my visual faculties are diminished or perhaps even impaired, it's because I go out and I touch grass, you know. I observe nature. That's what I do. This is what Charis Euphranor does. He goes out and he interacts with the real world. And then he like fucking goes home to like live stream for some reason. Sure, I believe that. I like that, sure. Anyways, let's like, so it's white and gold to me. But I understand. Okay, this is the correct answer. This is my answer. So what do I go for?
I
I'm
don't
gonna go
have
for my
glasses
answer.
and see white and gold. I also work second shift, so late in the day / at night.
That's interesting. It must be because if you see white and gold, it must be because you're I can't think of a good explanation that would make you and I both look good. Must be because you're a big fan of like great VTubers. That must be why. Going to Tesco does not count as touching grass.
SS6.
Sometimes it's Sainsbury's.
No,
Fuck
I
you.
can't do it.
We've got like 2/3 of the votes in blue and black, and I think that's the correct answer. Okay, the blue and black is the correct answer. It's been explained to me. I understand the reasoning behind it. I get it. It's correct, but it's still weird to me. It is still weird that that is that. Like that is still weird to me. That's fucked up. Okay, what came first, the chicken or the egg? We have settled this, I think. Is your outfit blue and black? No, man. There's no weird like lighting going on. This is just the way I look. Okay? It's purple and gray. Look, if you want to draw me in purple and gray, that's fine too. You're more than welcome to. Eggs predate the modern chicken, but also just like chickens in general. I believe that a life form on Earth is more likely to have existed first as a cell-like, egg-like thing than it would exist as a chicken-like thing. If I was here just now, but if he's around, I would ask him. But I think he settled it for me as well. He settled that it was egg. The egg predates it. So I'm going to trust him. Okay, I'm trusting my... This is me in Who Wants to Be a Billionaire, phoning a friend, and my friend is Phi the biologist, okay? So it's egg because my friend said so. This is really evenly split. 49-51. There's nothing has been this evenly split. This is the first thing that's actually been down the line. 49-51. The egg is correct. But the reason why do people think chicken? Why do half of the people think chicken? I know why. I suspect I know why half of these 12 million people decided that it was egg. Probably through similar reasoning. Would your answer change if it's a chicken egg? Would it? I actually think that would be more ambiguous than egg. Egg itself is not that ambiguous. But chicken egg is like, what constitutes a chicken egg?
Half of the people in the US also voted Trump.
Oh, sorry. No. That's true. Anyways, you got me there. Look, you got me there. Something, no politics. Charis Euphranor would never engage in political speech. Never. I'm an apolitical being. Man is but a political animal. That's what Aristotle said. Or I think it might be what he says. It's probably. Okay, should a sandwich be cut diagonally or horizontally? So diagonally is correct. And this is what is pleasing. This is what people do. This is how it's always been. This is how it should be. But I'm sympathetic to horizontal. I'm sympathetic to horizontal because I think cutting it down the line horizontally makes sense for most foods. if I were cutting like a pie, I would cut it, or like if I were cutting a steak, I wouldn't like cut through the diagonal parts of the steak. I would do like a horizontal split. Or a vertical split, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. Whichever is like, I don't know actually how you, I don't know how it works. I don't know how to describe it. But like, you don't cut steak the same way you cut a sandwich. Philosophy is apolitical. True! True. Diagonal. Should be cut diagonally, but I will stick to cutting it horizontally. Horizontally because I get the bread with the little duvet at the end, at the top. And it's not a symmetrical cut otherwise. If it's a perfect square bread, I cut it diagonal, but I don't get perfect square bread. How are you supposed to cut a meatball sub diagonally? You know what? That's a damn good question. I was going to say that's not a good question. But hang on. And, you know, we can see from the next one as well. Is cereal a soup? Is a hot dog a sandwich? Is a hamburger a sandwich? Is a Subway a sandwich? And if so, you know, in the diagram they've shown this perfect square bread. What if it were like a long like sub? What if it were a huge sub? The sub was already cut horizontally. It was cut open but not cut in half. That's different. You're not cutting open the sandwich here. You're cutting it, you're slicing through it so that it can be like stored more efficiently, I think is the idea, right? So, okay, I think the sensible response to this question, should a sandwich be cut diagonally or horizontally, is whatever fits in your damn lunch bag or your box, right? Whatever fits in your box is how you should cut it. And if it needs to be cut into like small strips or whatever, that's kind of weird, but you know, if that's the only way it fits in your box, that's the only way it fits in your box. If it needs to fit in your box diagonally, you do it diagonally. If the way it fits in your box is by stacking them horizontally, then you do it horizontally. Okay, that's the sensible approach. If you're at home, you're just making a sandwich, I think diagonally is the play. Now, the reason why you would cut it diagonally is because when you're eating the sandwich, it's nicer to get into the sandwich through the sharp bit, the sharp bit here in the corner. Okay, that it's easier to get into the sandwich when you start off with like a small bite. Why? I don't know. I'm not a psychologist, I'm a philosopher. All I can tell you is that it feels a little nicer putting the thing in my mouth if it starts with the sharp corner of it rather than like the full brunt. Because when you cut it diagonally, you're not eating it from like the fucking, what is this? What's this longest like line? Is this the fucking hypotenuse? What is it like the, it's the hypotenuse, right? Sokotoa. I'm like I'm recalling my trigonometry. Hold on. It is the hypotenuse. Yeah, you don't eat the sandwich from the hypotenuse. You don't do that. You don't eat the sandwich from the hypotenuse. You are kind of crazy if you do that. Okay. The reason you don't do that is because it gets all over the place. It gets all over your mouth. Because it's such a wide surface, it could get all around your mouth rather than in your mouth. And you want it in your mouth. Okay. So the reason you do it diagonally isn't, I think the largest reason isn't for aesthetics or by a principle, whatever. It's because when you're eating it, you want to stick the corner of it in your mouth first. Okay. You can equator cut it? That's kind of wrong. I don't know if you should do that. The sharp corner leads to a more interesting eating experience since your bites have variable amounts of sandwich. That's true that they have variable amounts of sandwich. But I think like it's also, you know what? It's like a journey. That's what it feels like. Because when you start in the corner, you're eating it. You start off slow. You start off munching just the edges of it. Then you get into the meat of the sandwich, like the right in the middle of your experience. And then towards the end, you finish off with the last corner. You shove it in your mouth and maybe you give your fingers a little lick or whatever before you get into the other slice as well. But it's kind of like a beginning, middle, end. It's like a journey, which I find to be sensible. If you eat it horizontally, it's not a journey. It's just sort of like a consistent, uninteresting experience, which you can have, There's nothing wrong with that. But I think for your personal experiences, you would go diagonal. Okay. When you eat a horizontally cut sandwich, every single bite is the same, leading to a less interesting eating experience. Is that true? Yes, that's true. It is less interesting because every bite is the same. That's true. But less interesting isn't necessarily bad. So we have to keep that in mind. 79%. I think 79% of people are swayed to the correct opinion, not because they have arrived at this. They didn't. I don't think everyone arrived at the same conclusions that I did through the same methods. I think most people arrived at the diagonal conclusion because throughout media, it's sandwich cutting has been portrayed as a diagonal experience. That's why. I think people are just biased, and they've seen it more, and that's the basis of their judgment, which is not like a bad basis of judgment. Now you wouldn't want to delegate everything in your life to the popular vote, but sometimes popular things are popular for a reason, right? Sometimes. 79% of people are wrong. No, I think they are right, but maybe not for the right reasons. Unrelated question, but does having knowledge of P imply having knowledge of P? Yes. But I have weird epistemological views, so you don't really want to ask me those questions because I wouldn't be able to give you good responses. I just have weird thoughts on epistemology. I eat it in fours, so it's one bite of love for each cut. I guess you can do that too. Yeah, you do like a horizontal vertical cut, so it's just really small sandwiches. You could do that. Like a finger food kind of thing. You could do that. Yeah, you could do that. I would say that you transform it to a finger food that way, and I think that's fair too. That's valid. Is cereal a soup? No. Okay, that was quick. The reason cereal is not a soup is because when you're eating a soup, the primary thing you're aiming for, the star of the dish, is the liquidy substance, right? The liquidy substance defines the dish in like a soup. That's the thing that matters. Now you might have like the solids in there that have, that are a part of the making of the soup that you could enjoy as well. But the main thing, the star of the show, is the liquid. When you're having cereal, the milk is important, sure, but the star of the show is the cereal itself. Okay? Because when you make variations in cereal, the variations aren't the different types of milk. Okay, it is the same cereal if it's like, I don't know, fucking Frosties. I'm like, I don't want to name a name for a brand because I'm not sponsored by anything, but at the same time, I can't think of any, like, I can't think of how to explain this without using brand names, so I'm just gonna use fucking brand names, okay? So if you have a bowl of Frosties, what makes it different from another bowl isn't the fact that one bowl is skimmed milk and one bowl is like whole fat milk, okay? That doesn't change it. That doesn't change the essence of it being the same bowl of cereal. And I don't mean the identical bowl of cereal, but like, the same bowl of cereal. If you wake up every day, and one day, for most people, many people, if your cereal recipe altered in its milk component, if you went from full, like, whole fat milk to like skimmed milk, it'd be a little different, sure, but it wouldn't be as big of a difference as the switch from like Frosties to fucking Cocoa Puffs or whatever. That's what makes cereal not soup. Okay, that's the kicker. That's the kicker. Because you can eat dry cereal and you're still eating cereal. Correct. You can eat dry cereal. It's fucked up. It's fucked up and it's kind of weird. And I don't know why you would do that. I don't know anyone that does that. It's a little weird. But it's like you're still eating cereal. You are still eating cereal if you do that. I would say that it might not be the best way to eat cereal. I would point at you and go, That's weird. You have a weird way of eating cereal. But then but at least I would still acknowledge that you're eating cereal. If you forgo the broth in like a soup, then that's the whole soup gone. Okay. Ice soup. Tomato soup. Cinnamon Toast Crunch. In my opinion, cereal isn't soup because the base isn't water. That could be a reason, yeah. I don't think that's the biggest reason, though. I think the biggest reason is my reason. I think I'm correct in my reasoning. I think I'm the most correct. I think it is down to the fact that one is the main point and one isn't. I eat dry cereal. I eat it as a snack. You can, but like it's weird. You can, but it's weird. Okay, it's a little weird to me. It's a little weird. Is gumbo soup? You know when this fucking word showed up in the Wordle and I was like so mad. I was like, I don't know what the hell gumbo is. Is that soup? No, it's not. It's not soup. This isn't soup because it has a soup, but it is not soup. It has a soup in it. Like it's like if you asked me, if you handed me a bowl of ramen and asked me, is ramen a soup? I would just tell you that ramen includes soup in it. Like, it's... Like,
Gumbo
this has a soup in it. But it is not a soup. It has a soup within it. The soup is a very core component of the dish. But it is not a soup. Gumbo is not a soup. The soup is a core component of the dish.
Tofu? Anyway, I'm gay for soup. Kenya I grinning cat face. Hi, Charis.
Hello, Lucky. You don't have to be gay for soup to it. You could just say, what happened to like, I like soup? What happened to I enjoy eating soup? What happened to like, this is my favorite soup? Why you gotta be gay for it? Like, why can't you just like soup, man? Why can't we like things? Why can't we just like them? Why can't we just say, that's good? This is my favorite thing. What happened to that? Whatever. I'm soup pilled. Why can't you just say that you like soup, man? Homophobic? No, man. You could be gay for like... You could be gay for other men, but you can't be gay for soup. Not that you can't because, like, I'm not allowing you because it goes against my worldview. It's just, you know, it's not the same thing. Is it? I hope it's not. I don't know if it is. I hope you don't feel that way about... Actually, do I? I don't know anymore. Can you feel a certain way about soup that is comparable to the way you feel about your, like, I don't know, your sexual attractions? Maybe you could. I don't know. I don't know, man. To be fair, have you ever had a really good soup before? Yeah, but it doesn't beat, like... I'm not gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. It doesn't matter how good your soup is. It's never beating... It is never gonna beat the laughter of a cute girl for me. Okay, there you go. I said it. Okay, I'm done. All right, there you go. This is your daily reminder that we live in a heteronormative society and I'm a straight guy. Okay, this is your daily reminder. Anyways, why can't you just use your own words instead of quoting NL? I don't quote NL because at this point, like, I don't quote NL because I'm like, ooh, look at me. Like, I watch NL and I don't do it because I'm like, I need to steal a bit from him. I do it because he's so deeply, like, seared into my brain that I just have no other way to express myself anymore. And, like, this is a problem. This is a problem. I'm fully aware and acknowledge that this is a problem. You don't know what gumbo is, so you haven't watched The Princess and the Frog. Misogyny. Anyways. You need to watch Princess and the Frog with us as an apology. I don't know. I'll think about it. Whatever. Toilet paper over or under? Over. Here's the. Okay, this is succinct. I don't really have a deeper point to it. I think it's over unless you have a cat. It's always over unless you have a cat. That's the rule. It is always over unless you have a cat. It is over because it is easier to roll out and...
I am exorbitantly lazy.
It's just easier. It's easier to pull out because the motion of you, because you have more surface area to kind of pull from. If it's under, you have less surface area to pull from. And usually you want to make it easier to pull out the toilet paper, right? That's what you want. Now, under makes sense if you have a cat, because you want to make, because if you have a cat, or a toddler, right? You want to make it harder to pull the toilet paper over or out. You want to make it a bit harder because they might just tear the whole thing out and then you've got a waste of toilet paper just all over the floor, right? That's the only reason. So it is always correct over, because under is only correct when you are intentionally making it more difficult. It is objectively correct. I think over is, I think the patent for toilet papers or toilet paper rolls shows like an illustration of the way you're supposed to install it or whatever, and it is over. It is installed over. So it's pretty settled. This feels like this isn't the most lopsided vote. Is this the most lopsided? This is actually the most lopsided vote. Never mind. This is. But I was going to say, this didn't feel like the most heavily tilted vote, but it feels like the most settled. Like, I feel like we've all agreed. It is not that much harder. That's true, but it is harder. It's not that much harder. Like, you're not going to have to, like, crawl through the floor to grab something if it were, like, if it went under. You are kind of just doing the same, mostly the same motion, but it is a little harder. And it's a little harder because it's wrong. It looks better under. It does not look better under. It does not look better under. No, it doesn't. When it's under, I feel like my hand has to get closer to the wall than necessary. And I don't want to touch the wall, if possible. There are very few scenarios where I'm on the shitter and my arms are on the wall. There have been moments like that in my life. But like generally you're not having a good time. If your hands are on the wall, you're not having a good time. Okay? You're insert Noir Vesper on the toilet fan art. There's like that one image of him like with his with his shirt torn off on the shitter. That's the only time when you have your hand on the wall. Otherwise, your hand should not be on the wall. Your hand should be to yourself. And if you are if you're a horrible youth-coded, although you're 60 years old, youth-coded person like me, who also has their phone out while they're on the shitter, rather than, I don't know, like just toughing it out or having a newspaper or a book to read. I don't know if they, anyways. If you're doing that, your hands don't want to be near the wall. It's never that close to the wall and I have a bidet. Over so I can fold it envelope style. That's good. That's a good point. That's a good point, maybe. That's a really good point. Yes. Another point for over is that you can fold it envelope style. Like the way they do it in like the hotels. That's a good point. That's a really good point. Yep. That's good. That's the way it should be. That's a great point. That's a great point. But you understand it when you say that it's never that close to the wall. You're talking about ideal scenarios. I'm talking about the everyday. Okay, this isn't like an idealized situation where I have a bidet. You're avoiding the question. Okay, the everyday question is over or under. Yes, like yes or like over or under. Which one? Pick one. Right. That's the question. And for that question, the correct way is over. It just is. You are the hippest boomer there is. Thank you. I appreciate that. I have been complimented for my youthful appearance. Over indeed, Yin, over indeed. Under makes you appear as a person that has self-control. Over makes it seem like a don't make good life decisions from rash decisions. You can't just say my answer is the Chad and your answer is the Soy Jack when we're actually engaging in debate. You can say that if it's like you can say that if this were like an offhanded comment somewhere, but like I'm sitting down and I'm pondering this, I'm thinking this through, I'm going through all the bits of reasoning. You can't be like my answer is the Chad and you are the Soy Jack. You can't do that. Let's face it, it's the one on the counter you're reaching for. How do you do that? It's like right, it's behind you. You have to contort and twist your body like a gymnast to get to your like toilet paper? No. Now, if it were like easier to reach for the thing on the counter, yes. But this is a matter of convenience. This is a matter of which one is easier to reach for. And correct way is over because it is easier to reach for. Okay. Do both at the same time assert dominance? You know what would be interesting is if, and I guarantee you almost, if you, and you don't even have to pull this, if you just in a stall put, okay, but then you can't really eliminate, no, you can eliminate biases by putting them stacked on top of each other. Like, on the same side of the wall, of the stall, you have one roll that's under and another roll that's over, and you have them both equal. Maybe for like randomization purposes, sometimes the over one is on top and sometimes the over one's on the bottom. You see what I'm saying, right? And they're stacked on top of each other, so there are two rolls. So there are two rolls per stall, and you just check. This is the experiment. I'm designing the experiment, right? You just go in periodically and check which one gets more usage. Okay, you just see which one requires refilling first. This is an experiment you can do. This is an experiment one can do. Definitely, 100%. This is solvable. This is scientifically solvable. Okay, there's a control group. You don't even need a control group, actually. You could just put this, you can gather so much data with this. I'm getting ahead of myself. We're gonna move on to the next thing. For me, I always imagine under, because I always imagine there would be a smear on the wall if the paper was dirty, like the paper spiritually doesn't touch the wall when it's over. I feel that as well. I feel that. It's untrue. It's like it's objectively false to think that, but I think that. Yeah, I do. Pepsi or Coke? Why is that a bear? Thank you for the hieroglyphs, Ian. I don't care. This is the one I cared for the least. Beepus, water, neither, ginger ale, Pepsi, polar bear. The polar bear for Coca-Cola during Christmas time. Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Okay. I don't care. Coke is more widely known. The Coca-Cola company is a more widely known company, I think. Aren't they under the same fucking company? Who owns Pepsi? Who owns Pepsi? American multinational food and beverage corporation. PepsiCo. was formed with the merger of the Pepsi-Cola company and the Frito-Lay Inc. PepsiCo's flagship product, Pepsi-Cola, has been engaged in rivalry for generations with Coca-Cola. It is commonly referred to as the Cola Wars. Although Coca-Cola outsells Pepsi-Cola in the United States, PepsiCo within the Northern American market is the largest food and beverage company by net revenue. Ramon Laguarta has been the chief executive of PepsiCo since 2018. The company's beverage distribution and bottling is conducted by PepsiCo as well as by licensed bottlers in certain regions. So I believe, like, Coca-Cola is the... I thought Coca-Cola was the bigger one, but apparently in the northern US it's not the case.
Hot take, but the communists made the best cola, Vita Cola.
Vita Cola. I don't know anything. I've never had... You know what? I've never had communist cola, so I'll have to try that. PepsiCo is the second largest food and beverage business in the world based on net revenue, profit, and market capitalization behind Nestle. I really thought it'd be smaller than Coca-Cola. By the Coca-Cola company. I really, you know what? I didn't know that. Oh. Pepsi Cola.
Jolt Cola was the shit.
Yeah, this is just, I feel like this is more recognizable than this. I like Beepus. I do like myself a Beepus. But it is, but if I had to pick between them, I'd pick the red, because I think I just like the red color of it more. Now, here's the thing. If you put Pepsi and Coke in two identical containers, I wouldn't fucking know what the difference was. If you put store brand cola, I wouldn't know what the difference is. I had like a... This is for all the people. This is for all like the 2 people here in chat that are from the UK. If like I had like the Tesco like cola the other day for the first time, and it was like, it was just cola. It was just Coke. It was just slightly weird Coke, slightly weird Pepsi. It was the same damn thing to me. It was just like all the same. This is just that I don't taste any difference. It's the same damn thing. I really don't care. If I had to pick one, if I were to sit down at a restaurant and order something, and order a cola, I would probably ask for Coke, because it's just the name that I'm more familiar with. But like, I know both the names, and I've had both of them, and I order Pepsi, and if they go, we don't have any Coke, do you want Pepsi? I'll go, fucking sure, I don't care, whatever. Like, okay. To the point where I understand why someone else would be fussy about it. But like, if they don't have Pepsi or Coke and they served you the other thing, would you even be able to tell? You know what? If you were able to tell whether or not you were served Coke or Pepsi blind, like they just poured it in a glass and you just had it, right? Then you get to complain. Then you get to complain that, oh, and then you get to say one's better than the other. I can't, and I'm honest, okay? Ultra skill issue. There's no way anyone here can tell the difference. Pepsi has cooler lore, like how a sweepstakes in the Philippines killed 3 people. Or how they traded with the USSR, or how to trade USSR, or how the USSR traded 10 tons of Pepsi for a nuclear submarine. You know what? Pepsi does have cooler lore. Doesn't the Coca-Cola company have like an army? Don't they have like soldiers? Don't they have like soldiers? Coca-Cola was developed in 1886. At the time it was introduced, the product contained stimulants, cocaine from cocoa leaves, and caffeine from cola nuts, which together acted synergistically. Oh, so it is Coke. So Coke is Coke. That's why we call it that. I always thought it was just a funny like coincidence. Oh. Oh. Have you tried Pilk before? Not yet. I might. It's obvious you never had a Dr. Pepper. I had a Dr. Pepper and I kind of didn't like it, which is sad because generally I don't care. Generally I'm so neutral in like matters of food and beverage. But I actually had a Dr. Pepper for the first time a while ago, and I didn't like it. I thought I could just say, yeah, whatever, it's just one of the sodas of all time. But I actually had an opinion on it, and it's that I did not, and it wasn't a positive one. So it's interesting. I can tell, but I don't care. Charis have objectively diminished taste buds, and even I can tell the difference. Okay, well... I have done the blind taste tests and succeeded in not only Coke versus Pepsi, but also Diet Coke and Coke Zero. What?
_chair tomato :
Stop tomatoing me! Stop tomatoing me! Really, Fi? You can tell the difference? What? This is like all the same to me. That's crazy. That's you know, maybe I just don't drink it enough. You know what I prefer? I prefer Fanta. I actually prefer Fanta. They have like an orange drink. The Coca-Cola company have an orange drink, Fanta, and I actually just prefer that. I do prefer 7-Up and Sprite.
You have the taste buds of a 70-year-old.
Which I also can't tell the difference between, I was gonna say. I can't tell the difference between those either. Anyways. Anyways. What are we talking about? Yeah, okay. Pepsi is unpopular, but I feel like they're the same thing. I prefer no ginger ale or no soda. I only like ginger ale if it's like a chaser, I think. It's like a pretty good whiskey chaser, I think. Ginger ale or Milkis? Milkis 100%. Milkis is so good. Milkis is so good. Sparkling water is underrated. I think sparkling water is weird. I just want regular water. Just give me regular water, please. Is pineapple on pizza good? It's not right, but it is good. It's one of those fucked up weird things that people have done. What? I bet lemons and limes taste identical to you too. They might. No, they don't. No. I can taste the difference between lemon and lime because I used to like eat lemon. I used to like when I... Shit. Do I? Yeah, sure. I could say this. When I was like much younger, and whenever I got sick, my mom would say it was because I didn't have enough like vitamins in me, and she would make me eat like a lemon. She would like cut up like lemon slices and just hand them to me and go, here you go, and I would eat them. Initially as a child you're obviously like, ew, it's sour, it's gross, and like you do that, right? But then my mom was like, but then this, yeah, it's gross, but it helps you. And so then I thought, well, okay, if it helps, and I had it and it helped, and I was like, you know what, I'm doing this shit from now on. And I very quickly conquered like the sourness of it, and it became like a party trick. Not a party trick necessarily, like, because nobody gives a fuck really, but like it became something that, you know, that would be funny in a conversation or in like a restaurant or a bar setting or whatever, if I could take a slice of lemon and just like stick it in my mouth and just like consume the whole thing without flinching, because I was just so used to the sourness. Yeah, this didn't really impress anyone, I think. No, it impressed some people. This impressed some people, and that made it worth it. If the gang orders a pizza with pineapple, I'll eat it. I would just way prefer pepperoni pizza. What's the one with pineapple on it? Is it Hawaiian? Is that what it is? Chairman, you should do that with an onion. It's more impressive. I am not ready for that yet. I can't do that with an onion yet. I'm not impressive. I'm not nearly as impressive yet. Hawaiian pizza is good. Yeah, Hawaiian pizza is good. I like Hawaiian pizza. I don't know if it came from Hawaii, like the specific, what we call Hawaiian pizza. I don't know if it did that, but like, it's good. I like it. It's the same as like a California roll. I misspelled roll. because this came from the US, didn't it? Didn't the California roll come from the US? Like, this is an American invention. This is an American invention, isn't it? Look, this is an American invention. Like, that chopstick is posing. but it's not bad. It's pretty good. So if you are to claim, no, it's not right, this isn't what the pizza was intended for, well, you kind of have to also, like, acknowledge that food evolves and is, you know, it transcends cultural boundaries and barriers. And people are allowed to innovate on top of them. And that's what they've done. What they've done is they put pineapple in pizza along with some other things. And they made it work. It's fucked up and it's kind of weird, but it works. At least to me. And I like it. I enjoyed the taste of it. And so the pineapple pizza with pineapple to me is the same as a California roll, where it's like, if you want like the platonic form of pizza and sushi, you wouldn't be serving that. You know, that wouldn't be the case. If I went to like my local pizzeria, pizzeria that's run by, hopefully, I think run by an Italian man, I think. Is that true? I think it's run by an Italian man. Like, he would not serve pineapple on any of his pizzas, and that's fine. And I go to him for like authentic pizza, Italian pizza, because that's what I prefer. If I were to go to fucking Pizza Express or something instead, which generally has inferior pizzas, but if I were forced to go there, say, and to pick from a menu, I might pick the Hawaiian option. Like, that is a possibility. I might pick the Hawaiian option. It tastes fine, but if I have the authority to pick the pizza, I'm getting cheese and pepperoni and nothing else. If I have the authority, it's the Italian way for sure. I would want a margarita. I do this thing every week where I go to my local pizzeria and I will order a margarita. And they know that I am the guy coming in ordering a margarita. They know that. Like, they have at this point clocked me as the guy who comes in every week to order a margarita. And I do, because it's like, it tastes really good. And it's just a simple cheese pizza. It's just the platonic form. This is the platonic essence of what pizza should be. And I go and order that. And that's my preferred thing. But sometimes you can also put pineapple on it. You can do that if you want. Obligatory, do you put corn in your pizza? I don't, but like, if you can make it work, I guess you can make it work. But I don't do that. It's definitely because of how you say it. What's wrong with the way I said it? What is wrong? What's wrong with the way I said margarita? What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? Is that not how you're supposed to say it? Is it not margarita? It's a margarita, right? No? Fuck, you're making me self-conscious.
Buongiorno, we are looking at how to pronounce the name of arguably the most classic of all Italian pizzas. We are looking at how to pronounce the name of this typical Napolitan pizza made with some marzano tomatoes, mozzarella cheese, fresh basil, a bit of salt and a bit of extra virgin olive oil on top of that. This is, of course, a pizza that is famous for bearing the
I don't want the history of the
Italian flag.
Shut
up.
up.
Pronouncing it with a typical Italian pronunciation, pizza margherita. Pizza margherita. But it'd be fine in English or American to say pizza margherita. Pizza margherita. It'd be fine in English or margherita pronunciation, pizza margherita.
That's what that is. Fuck you. Margherita, yeah. It's just like you pronounced anime with the correct Japanese pronunciations. Fuck you. Urusai. Anyways, Hold on, where's my BGM? Oh yeah, I paused it for that. I can feel your ego when you say it. No, it's like, because like you're walking into an Italian restaurant and you're asking the Italian man for an Italian pizza. You're gonna say it the Italian way. Like, this is basic respect. This, I feel like, is the way, like, you should try. You should make an effort. You should make an effort if it's just one word. I'm not making my whole damn order in Italian because I don't speak Italian. But like, but I'm gonna make sure the thing I'm ordering with that is an Italian word is pronounced like it's an Italian word and not like I'm ordering a cocktail. Like, oh, can I get a margarita? Like, I'm not like that's isn't how. Whatever. You say it like a British tourist vacation. Fuck! No! No! This is the fuck. You see the video of the guy that like overacts? I think he's a British guy as well. He's like where he starts shaking like on the ground, like crying, like nah, like the. That's me right now. That's me right now. Yeah. Can you say Margaritaville to determine if you say it the same way as Guy Fieri? Is that how he says it? Is it Margaritaville? That should be the way he says it, right? This is the same way that Chris Pratt voices the Mario character. Stop! 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 Please stop! Ah. It's nice that you do that, but that's why they remember you. Fuck! I'm moving on. I'm moving on. I can't take this. I'm moving on. I'm moving on. I don't want any more of this. I don't know. I'm not having any of this discourse. Star Wars or Star Trek? I haven't watched Star Trek and I watched Star Wars and didn't like some of it. So I'm gonna pick like the lightsabers. I don't actually care. This is stupid. This is stupid and boring. I don't care. Neither of these are that good. Fuck. Have you watched Dune? Have you seen Dune? Star Wars or Star Trek? Watch Dune. Go watch Dune. Go watch Dune 1 and 2. I don't really know about Dune 3. I don't really know how that works. I don't really know how the books roll as well. But go watch 1 and 2. There you go. Have you seen Guy Fieri's new look? It's like they deskinned him of his Guy Fieri-ness. Guy Fieri. New look. What? That's not him. What? AI or real? Yeah, this is AI, right? What? Guy Fieri reveals reason for shocking new look, and it's not AI. It was a makeover for his 58th birthday. If you're gonna go big, he told people. They said, well, can you shave your goatee? And I said, I would for this. It's such an important commercial. It's a fucking commercial! I'm clicking away right now. I'm clicking away right now. He's trying to sell something. He said, you've fallen for it, and now I've fallen for it. We've both fallen for it, okay? He was selling a product. Fuck! Okay, I'm gonna move on. Okay. Okay. Would a dog wear pants like this or like this? A dog would wear pants like that. Yeah, okay, there you go. It being on the bottom is weird because it's not standing on its hind legs. When it wouldn't wear pants anyways, but if it were to wear pants, I would assume it's because, like human pants, it would be because the dog needs to stand on its hind legs. And if it needs to do that, then it needs to cover, like, you know, the lower portion of itself, which when it stands upright. So next time I go to a Jamaican restaurant, I put on a Jamaican accent when I order oxtail. No, you don't put on an accent. If I put on an offensive Italian accent, I would get strange looks, okay? But I don't do that. I don't go into the restaurant and do like an accent. I go into a restaurant and I order in my natural accent, and then I add And then when I'm reading a word that is not the language of which I speak, which is their language, I make an effort to learn what that is, and then I pronounce it that way. And it's just the word. It's just the word. Okay? It is. You don't make the whole... No, man. You don't do the whole order in an accent. You do not do that. You don't do that. You don't do that. Please don't do that. This is like... This is challenging my conceptions for what my chat is like. Isn't one restrictive of how it walks? It kind of is. I think both are kind of restrictive. Does it restrict or constrict? What's the difference? Constrict. Make narrower, especially by encircling pressure. Restrict. Limit the size of. Okay. I guess it's both. I guess it does both. It does both. Okay. You putting the accent on at all is offensive. I'm not putting on an accent. I'm not putting on an accent when I say margarita. When I'm saying margarita, I'm pronouncing it the way it is meant to be. The word is meant to be pronounced. It's not an accent. It is not an accent, okay? Because it would be worse if I strolled in and I was like, "Hey, can I just get a margarita? Thank you." Like if I did that, that would be more offensive. That would be more offensive. I would be disrespecting their language and their culture, okay? I'm already doing that by ordering in English, okay? But like, you know, but this is like an English speak, but like I live in an English speaking context, so it's like that's acceptable, right? But like, you know, offensive to whom? Like if I didn't even try, okay, you know what? It would be offensive to me. Honestly, if you have to, whatever, man. I don't need to have it. Look, yeah, they wouldn't even blink, but not because it's fine, but because they've accepted it. This is just the way people are, okay? But I want to put some level of effort in recognizing cultural difference and overcoming that cultural difference by showing a sort of respect. I don't know where I'm going with this. Anyways, the point is, it's not weird, and they don't remember me because it's a bad, like, accent or whatever, okay? They love me, okay? I don't know if they love me, but, like, they do say hello and goodbye to me. And occasionally, they give me free drinks, okay? So it's like, it's okay. So it works out, okay? Occasionally, when I show up to the pizzeria and I finish a pizza and I'm, like, really full, they'll give me, like, an alcoholic drink that helps with digestion. And, like, that makes them my favorite restaurant. That makes them my favorite local thing. Is because sometimes they give me free booze. Anyways. I've learned I can't do this because when I try to order at Japanese restaurants with the proper pronunciation, the waiter will always ask me to repeat it unless they're actually Japanese. Yeah, so I don't speak in the language. I merely use the word that's on the fucking menu in front of me that's been translated, right? But like, even if I were to, it would be under the assumption that the other person I'm talking to is like speaks that language. And if they don't, it's like, I'm not bothered. I'm not going to. I'm not pronouncing that word, Lackey. I'm not. Hello and goodbye. That's restaurant third base. I'm telling you, there's something about that. Okay, I'm telling you, there's something about that. Could jacket fit on the door in the movie? Okay. Yes. Yes, he could have. But like, James Cameron explains why Jack couldn't share the wooden door. There you go. I read something a while ago. I wanted to quote from it, but I don't remember. Damn it. Okay. Screen rant, sure. Stop giving me... Stop. If Jack got on the door with Rose, the piece of wood didn't have the buoyancy to keep them both afloat. Is that right? Would it have been the buoyancy of the door? Would it have been crushed? Maybe, yeah. So have you guys ever tried to put your like weight on like a floaty or something, where even if you can fit on yourself on the floaty, you end up sinking anyways, and the floaty kind of like shoots back on top, like when you're in a pool, right? I'm speaking to people who have had the privilege of like swimming in a pool, but if you remember, if you have and you've had pool floaties, like, do you not remember as a kid like pushing that shit down and then trying to fit your whole person on top of it, and then seeing if you would like stand on top of the water, and it not working obviously because, and then it end up like shooting back up anyways without you? Like that's the logic here. Is Jack could have fit onto the door if the goal was just for both of them to be on top of it. But that would have probably sank the door a bit. And they would be soaked. And maybe die from the freezing cold. He tried it. He tried and it began to sink. It's not about size, it's about weight. Yeah, so the question is flawed because the question is asking, could he have fit on it? Yeah, sure, he could have fit on it. So the answer is yes. But the underlying question is, then why didn't he get on it? Like, oh, then it's stupid that he didn't get on it. No. He didn't get on it not because he couldn't fit on it. He could fit on it, but it was because like the buoyancy of it wouldn't work. So rather than answer the question itself, I'm going to answer the spirit of the question and say no. People don't know what they're talking about. MFs that say yes can't enjoy sunset and the smell of morning dew. I don't know if that's what it's about. I just think they're wrong. I just think they don't understand the spirit of the question. Because the question itself, yes. I think yes, if I were strictly answering the question. But this, as we have established, is a rough approximation of internet debate. And really, the sentiment of the question is, could Jack have been on the door and escaped his fate with Rose in the final scene of the Titanic? That's the question, but it's a bit too wordy, so we got to shorten it down, and now it's become, can he fit on the door? Which he can, technically, but he wouldn't because of, you know, buoyancy issues. It's not a bad time to say I've never seen Titanic. Now is probably the worst time to. Yeah, even if you hadn't, you could have just kept it to yourself and pretended like you watched it, because everyone knows the plot points and details. You can lie your way through it. Like how I lied my way through having watched The Truman Show, which I didn't watch until literally the other day on the Discord with you guys. Anyways, are hot dogs a sandwich? No. The reason why hot dogs are not a sandwich is because if someone asks for a sandwich and you give them a hot dog, they will give you a strange look. There you go. That's the response. That's all. What more do you need? What more do you need? Socially, if you start insisting that hot dogs are a sandwich in a non-banter setting, then it's like you're gonna get the look. Okay, you don't want the look. You don't want the look. What's the look?
Sam,
what do I mean by that? What do I mean by that? That's not it. Look of disgust. No, man. No. Disapproval, maybe. No, this isn't. No. What's that, like, image of, like, girls in party looking at you in disgust? There's like an image. That one. This is like, if you go around like unprompted, unprovoked, and you're not making conversation with your friends, insisting that hot dogs are a sandwich, this is the look you get. Now, that doesn't mean you're wrong. That doesn't mean you're wrong. You could be very correct. You could be very correct in that. But life isn't about being right, okay? If there's one thing I've learned from 2 philosophy degrees, it's that life is not about being correct. It isn't. You don't have to be correct. You don't have to be true. Like, it might matter to some people who are willing to engage in good faith argument with you. Maybe. But this is the real world, where people are dumb. And more importantly, they are irrational beings that, like, are frankly not usually very interested in, like, debate and conversation, okay? The average person doesn't give a shit. The average person has a low attention span, and the average person does not want to engage in your actually hot dogs are a sandwich debate. Okay, like, you could maybe, if you sat down at a, you know, in a social setting and you all had drinks and someone had a hot dog, someone has a sandwich, and then you bring that up, it could be like a fun thing to talk about. But if someone asked you, like, for to help them get a sandwich, and you bought them a hot dog, you would get this look. Okay? I'm not telling you that you're wrong. I'm not telling you that you're incorrect, or that your reasoning is flawed, or your arguments are unjustified. No. You can have the argument, but this is the look you're gonna get. Okay? And so my advice is, you don't want to say it. You want to save this for funny table conversation. And if you were asked a sandwich, don't fucking buy a hot dog. If you were asked to buy a sandwich. Look up cube rule. What is cube rule? Cube rule. WikiHow. What is the cube rule of food identification theory? It's a potential solution to the question, is a hot dog a sandwich? This joke rule is simple. Use a cube as a guideline for where the starch is on the food, and it will reveal what category the food lies in. You can apply this hilarious set of guidelines to almost any food using the 6 original rules, plus a few extra to include the foods that don't fit. Keep reading to learn more about this revolutionary answer to an ancient internet debate. What is the cube rule of food? Salad or nachos? Toast. Sandwich. Taco. Sushi. Quiche. Calzone. Cake. Toast with jam side down. So a hot dog is a taco? So this is a toast. Okay. This is a sandwich. Sure, yeah. Burgers can be sandwiches, that's fine. A hot dog's a taco? Okay. But why are hot dogs tacos, but not tacos hot dogs? Why is a hot dog a taco and not a taco a hot dog? Or is that are they both true? Are both statements true? Is a hoagie a taco? What's a hoagie? Is it a really big sandwich? Like, is it a really big Subway? No, that's what. Oh, I've had these. I've forgotten the name, but I've had these. Yeah, they're good. They're good. I'm not very good with names. Okay. Anyways, we've decided there. Hot dogs are not tacos. People who say that drive a Tesla. Again, look, I agree with you on this one, but I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna, in this relatively more like serious and well-defined discussion, veer into, if you disagree with me, you are a soy jack territory, okay? Even though it's true. Because a taco doesn't have that strip of meat named hot dog in the middle of it. What? Yeah, that's why they're not the same thing. That's why I think we're agreeing. Anyways. I think we're agreeing. Marvel or DC? I I really want it to be DC, but it's not. I really want to like DC. But it ain't there yet. It's made too many mistakes to be I think like if you just looked at the comics and you looked at the characters, DC has I think probably more interesting characters, but they have not been able to win in the comic book wars because their films are just not very good. Now Marvel films are going through this crisis of their own too, and Superman has come out and proved that actually maybe they've got a chance. But generally speaking, I've enjoyed one thing more than the other. But like it's also like if you are very passionate about this, then you anyways. I'm sorry, I have to engage in a little straw manning once in a while. Little bit of you, the Swordjack, me, the Chad, a little bit. Anyways, should we get rid of daylight saving? Yes, we should get rid of it. Oh, it's really close. Okay. We get rid of daylight savings because it's really confusing, pushing the clock back and forth. I think like the way the climate is and the way daylight is not being saved, that like there's not that much daylight being saved of me, to be honest. I think we should just get rid of it in favor of like clock accuracy. It should be year-round DST. Yeah, so if you're in favor of making it, of standardizing it so that it's the same all year round, then you're in favor of getting rid of it. It doesn't matter where you shift the hour. If it's consistent throughout the whole year, it's like that's your stance, right? And that's the stance of that's the yes. I think that's the yes. I only care about Spider-Man. True and real. Spider-Man's the only good comic book character. Spider-Man is one of the only few good comic book characters. The meat in a hot dog is more traditionally called a frank, I believe. You might be right for its Germanic origins potentially. I don't know. Xbox or PlayStation? I like unfortunately am like a Nintendo fan. We'll do PlayStation. Yeah. I'm sorry. I think the console wars ended. I think the console wars have ended. Maybe this would be a relevant question back in the day. Like, I want to say maybe 10, 15 years ago. The console wars have ended and you want a PS5. Like, that's just how it is. You don't care. Nobody knows what the latest Xbox is. Okay? You don't know what the latest Xbox is. What's the latest Xbox? Is it the Xbox like 360? Is it the Xbox One? Is it the Xbox like Xbox? Is that like what they call it now? I don't know. I don't know what the latest Xbox is. I know that the latest PS is a PS5. I know that. I know what that is. I don't have one. I don't have a PS5, but I know what it is. Don't care. Steam ended the console wars. Yeah, that's true. Just get a Steam machine. Just get a Steam machine. We should stop changing the clocks, but let doctors tell us which one saves more lives. Sure, we can do that. I think that's reasonable, more than reasonable here. You know what? Do away with time zones. Okay, maybe we shouldn't do away with time zones yet. I think in the future we could, but not now. There's going to be a huge... I think what will need to happen for us to do away with time zones is... what will have to happen for time zones to go away? Space travel. It's probably space travel. If we eventually, or when we eventually master cosmic and space travel, that's when we do away with it. Okay, that's when that happens. Not a moment before that, I think. Don't both options have no games? True, which is why you just crawl back to Steam. The newest Xbox is Game Pass. Yeah, the newest Xbox is Game Pass. That's exactly right. There you go. This is bait to flash the Reddit mod video again. I have to like now have this. No, I'm not. I'm not gonna go that far. I'm only gonna have that for this stream, because it was like actually a relevant discussion point. But I was, anyways. Are we living in a simulation? Probably not. Probably not. Maybe yes. Are we in a simulation? Do we live in a simulation? This isn't something you can answer. This is something one can answer. I've read a lot of, I hesitate because I'm fairly somewhat read. I'm definitely more well read than 90% of the people that have voted on this. I'm sure that I'm more well read than 90% of the people here. But that doesn't mean I have a good formed opinion. Or like arguments for it. I believe the argument for simulation is that it's so, by sheer numbers, so likely that we could be a part of a simulation. Like if you just understand the potentiality of it. Then like it is mathematically sensible to assume that we're in a simulation. But I don't think there is good reason. You cannot reason. I don't think you can reason to this conclusion. I really think most of the literature that has made an attempt to do so has failed to fully convince me for or against it. And more importantly, most of it has also failed to convince me for why it matters. I think Reality Plus by David Chalmers is a philosophy book. It's like a really like beginner friendly philosophy book that deals with questions like, are we living in a simulation? Because it talks about like reality and like, you know, virtual simulations and all that. And in it he posits a good, I think a pretty agreeable view that ultimately I think that's what he said. Please, it's been a long time since I read it, so I might be paraphrasing here, but I believe he says something along the lines of, it doesn't matter. Or like, even if you were living in a simulation, you should act as if you aren't. Because this simulation is your simulation. This is someone else's like Sims game maybe. But this is your whole life. Like this is still your world and your whole life. And until you are presented with the opportunity to step out of it maybe, for some reason, I don't know why you would be presented that. But if you were presented that opportunity to step outside of your world, then maybe you can reconsider. But even if you do live in a simulation, even if this is true, you should act as if it's not. And I feel like that makes sense. The main question is, when did we switch over from reality to simulation? No, I don't think there's been a switch over. I think that's a relatively unpopular take in the sphere that's tried to take this question seriously. There was never a switchover. It's either we've always been living in a simulation or we've always been living in like what we would regard as reality. So no, and even if yes, you act like it's no. I need to do a month where I need to do a Matrix month. The next arc maybe is like the simulation arc. Okay, I'm gonna go through like the Matrix, and like maybe I'll finally read a bit of Reality Plus on stream, and then we'll talk about like if we're living in a simulation. 49% of people need to read that. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie? Yeah, because you watch it in Christmas. Okay. Doesn't it take place during Christmas?
This sound very Camusian and I like it.
Camusian? Maybe it is. Perhaps it is. Is it set in Christmas? Yes, he visits his estranged wife during a Christmas Eve party. Due to its Christmas setting, Die Hard is often named one of the best Christmas films of all time, although its status as a Christmas film is disputed. Because then you're gonna go, oh, but it's like the Christmas spirit. It's not a Christmas film because it's not about things we traditionally regard as Christmas. Okay, why do we regard those things as traditionally Christmas? Where does that come from? Like, is the definition of a Christmas movie something that involves aspects that have originated from Abrahamic religion, right? To celebrate the birth of Christ, because that's what that's what the holiday is. Christmas celebrates the birth of Christ. So if you're like, no, it doesn't, because it doesn't involve all the things traditionally associated with the version of the holiday that is loosely based on, like, I believe it's Judeo-Christian value, right? I believe these are Judeo-Christian values, right? Like, if that's your argument, then, like, sure, it's not. Then you go to Christmas Carol and go, no, but that's a Christmas movie because it's about the spirit of giving. Well, like, I don't think it's an interesting argument. The reason I don't think it's an interesting argument is because the reason to call something Christmas or otherwise has been formed by various, like, cultural religious factors. That even if you are not, like, religiously a Christian, being culturally Christian informs you of your, like, take here. And that makes sense to me on some level because you're talking about Christmas, which is literally the holiday that, designed for that. But, like, the setting of the film being, like, surrounding that holiday, I think is enough if you wanted to call it a Christmas film, a Christmas film. Now, if you want to say that, okay, a Christmas film has to not only take place in Christmas, it also has to embody the Christmas spirit or whatever, right? Then, like, why? Because when I think of Die Hard, I think it's Christmas. I do. When I think of Die Hard, I think Christmas. Not because of its, like, values. Not because of, like, Bruce Willis. It's like, it's just because Die Hard, when I think of it, I associate with the Christmas imagery. It's not a Christmas movie. It just happens to take place in Christmas. It is not the commercialized spirit of Christmas. The holiday is not the plot of the movie. Does the holiday have to be the plot of the movie for it to be a Christmas movie? Because if so, then I feel like it's not very helpful, is it? Why do you want to watch? No, I get it. Hold on. I'm being convinced. Hang on. I'm Jewish, bro. I'm just going based on what I've seen. I know that's not what I'm bringing attention to the fact that it is a Christian holiday that is influenced by a culture of Christianity. And you don't have to be religiously a Christian to be influenced by cultural Christianity, right? You don't have to, like, does that make sense? Die Hard is a Christmas movie in the same way Ghostbusters is anti-commercialism because the mascot goes on a rampage. What? Hold on. I gotta read into this. Its status as a Christmas film is disputed. What's the Wikipedia? Many Christmas stories have been adapted to feature films and TV specials, and have been broadcast and repeated many times on television. Since the popularization of home video in the 1980s, these films are sold and resold every year during the holiday shopping season. Many television networks, film studios, and production companies, such as cable television channels, Hallmark, and Lifetime, produce and release new Christmas-themed films every year during or around December, all with variations of similar plots and themes. Additionally, films revolving around the nativity story of Christmas are regularly produced, such as The Nativity Story and The Star. One film that has become the flashpoint for "is this a Christmas movie or not" debates is Die Hard, with some viewing the film as a Christmas movie intertwined with an action genre setting, or a film that is simply set around the Christmas and holiday season. Alvin and the Chipmunks. 3 musical chipmunks are discovered by an aspiring songwriter who wants to use their amazing singing abilities to become famous. Okay, that's not a Christmas movie. That's not a Christmas movie, is it? What was it? Hold on, where's I don't remember this film. Talking Chipmunk brothers Alvin, Simon, and Theodore reside in a fir tree, which is cut down and driven to Los Angeles after record label Jet Records purchases it as a Christmas tree. Struggling songwriter Dave Seville has his latest demo rejected by the chief executive Ian Hawke. Okay. There's a struggle. Next day they practice Dave's song "Christmas Don't Be Late." Okay, what the hell? Really? Their debut song is a Christmas song? It's been a long time, okay? I don't remember this. In 2013, was ranked by Games Radar as the 48th worst Christmas movie ever. Ah. It has to revolve around that holiday for it to be a holiday movie, and like Thanksgiving 2023 doesn't count because it's about something else but takes place on Thanksgiving. I have to get back to you on this, because even though Die Hard probably doesn't fit the definition of a Christmas film, if we have to go by like it's got to be the spirit of the holiday or whatever, I nonetheless think of Die Hard when I think of Christmas, and I think of Christmas when I think of Die Hard. Not for anything, not for the contents. You know what? Here's the answer. Die Hard is a Christmas movie because every Christmas we talk about it. There you go. Die Hard is a Christmas movie because we talk about that every Christmas. Every Christmas, this debate is brought on again. It, you know, the movie itself is aired on TV or whatever. People go back and rewatch it during Christmas. People like to discuss what makes a Christmas movie whenever they bring this up. And like, it's always the funny pick you make when someone asks for Christmas movie recommendations. And because of that, it is part of the Christmas spirit. You know what? Like, that's the Christmas spirit. Here's the Christmas spirit of Die Hard. It's not the content of the film itself, but it's the fact that the film transcends its contents, not that are already pretty good, and has established itself in the culture of Christmas as this thing that you talk about during Christmas. Like, every Christmas you talk about it. Every Christmas you talk about Die Hard. You think about Die Hard, you watch the movie again maybe, because it's a pretty good movie. Because that's like, I think that's what matters. It's the Christmas spirit is getting together with your friends and family and debating on whether or not Die Hard is a Christmas movie. And because of that, Die Hard's a Christmas movie. It's like KFC and Christmas. You know what? It's exactly like KFC and Christmas. KFC has like, is like, and Christmas in like, I believe it's a Japanese thing. Is where it originated. Japan. I'm sorry, I'm on the BBC, but you why Japan celebrates Christmas with KFC? There you go. So it might not have originally been that, but it's now so embedded in the culture. And culture evolves and has a history. And now, right now, history happens now. History is still happening now. And it will continue to happen. Such is the definition of history. A signed Christmas movie by annoying contrarians. No. Nuh-uh. It wasn't assigned a Christmas movie. It was assigned an action movie, and has now reclaimed its more comprehensive sense of identity to include being a Christmas movie. So actually, I'm more woke than you for calling it a Christmas movie. Checkmate. Okay, it wasn't assigned Christmas at birth, okay? Die Hard was not assigned Christmas at birth. Die Hard was assigned action movie at birth. There, that's my argument. Oh my god, that's perfect. That's my argument for you guys. That's my argument. Die Hard was assigned action at birth, but has later claimed the identity of a Christmas movie. There you go. Checkmate. And you're actually so bigoted for not accepting Die Hard as a Christmas movie. Yes. Yes. There you go. That's my argument. That's my argument. What are we talking about? Is Die Hard a Christmas movie? That's what we're talking about. I'm going through like internet arguments and debates and settling them. That is the perfect way to round that off. Okay, good. I can't cap that off with anything greater, so I'm gonna move on. That was, wow, that's a good argument. It's not because it's a very logical and like powerful and rigid and academically informed like set of premises and conclusions, but because I get to call you bigoted when I say if you don't accept that Die Hard's a Christmas movie. And that might not be true, but it's funny to say. I have an exam tomorrow on central problems in philosophy. I'm gonna get a bad grade. You're gonna get a bad grade if you sit here and watch my stream. If you go to like Axion stream, you'll get a better grade, okay? If you go to Axion stream, I think he will bring you back up a little bit from the from the depths below that I've currently brought all of us together on this journey to. I'm mildly to moderately confused. Basically, people debate on if Die Hard is a Christmas movie because it's an action movie, but it takes place during Christmas. And like, it's one of the most argued things on the internet is whether or not Die Hard is a Christmas movie, because it kind of gets to like, the core of what makes a Christmas movie a Christmas movie. And I'm drawing a funny like parallel between this and gender identity, which is like a more contentious set of discourse that I've already like talked about extensively, so it doesn't matter. And you know my actual opinions on it, so I can afford to joke around now. That's what we're doing. Because you know my actual thoughts on it, I can now say that Die Hard was assigned action at birth and later transitioned to being a Christmas movie. And you get it.
Is just like that. Mystery thriller that just happens during Christmas.
If considering Die Hard not a Christmas movie makes me a bigot, then call me a bigot, I guess. In the same way that KFC is a Christmas tradition. Because you could, like, it didn't start that way, but, like, now it is one way to put it. And I think, like, it's interesting that, like, culture and history continue to evolve. That even if Die Hard was not a Christmas film at the time, it now is. Because we talk about it so much. It now has to be now it is. Now it is. KFC is a Christmas tradition. I believe in Japan this is a thing. I've never been to Japan during Christmas. I've been to Japan but not during Christmas, so I can't tell you for sure. But I have friends who have. I have friends who are Japanese and they can confirm that it is like a thing. But I can't be like, my Japanese friend says this, therefore I'm right. Like, so I'm going to err on the side of caution and say I think that's the case. But it is still also an action movie, like by definition. There's shooting and guns. It just also is a Christmas movie. So if anything, it's by gender. True! Even more true. Even more truth nuke.
KFC is a Christmas tradition in the Philippines and Japan.
In the Philippines as well? I didn't know that. I see. But yes, yeah, true. Die Hard is a bi-gender film, okay? It's action and it's Christmas. in trying to assert that no, it has to be one or the other, or you have to have like this original essence to be a Christmas movie or whatever, you are being bigoted, actually. Oh, that's such a good argument. not because it's good in the sense that like it's rigorous, but good in the sense like it's got all the necessary ingredients to be like a slam dunk on Twitter. And ultimately, this is a Twitter argument. Ultimately, this argument doesn't matter, right? Ultimately, this is Twitter discourse. This is the level that we're stooping to today. It is so low. It is Twitter low. So if you're going to roll in the mud, you may as well learn how to embrace it. Okay? You might as well learn the way of the pig. Okay? So if I have to be a part of this discourse, if I have to roll around in the mud, I'm going to learn the way of the pig. And that's what that argument is. Yeah, exactly. You're perpetuating genre norms. How could you? There you go. That's like because, you know, like realistically, not realist, maybe realistically is not the right word to use. Because really, this doesn't matter. But if you have to argue for it, like your life is on the line. Like if you, have you ever played football with your life on the line? Like if you have to debate the die-hard discourse with your life on the line, this is what you say. Okay? This is the argument you make if you have to argue for the Die Hard movie with your life on the line. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're very welcome. Middle brown piece or edge piece? Brownie piece, excuse me. Middle brownie piece or edge piece? I don't know, whatever's in front of me. Like, I don't pick them. Okay, wait, no, this is a bad question. If there's an edge, you take the edge because that's courtesy. Because you don't, like, if there's a fully, like, you know, it's come out of the oven, there's a brownie. You're not gonna, like, and it's been cut up. You're not gonna stick your fingers or, like, you know, stick whatever in the middle of the brownie just to extract, like, a middle piece for yourself. That's rude. So you would just eat the edges first and then you get to the brownie.
No, some people like edges more BC of the lil chewy crunchy edge bits of it.
Okay. So, okay, I see now. The question is less which one you go for, but which one you prefer. And I don't really have a strong preference, which is why I just go for I just go for the edge because it's more convenient. I don't actually have a preference between middle or edge. I know, like, you know, the one's a bit more gooey, one's got, like, you know, the crunchy, chewy bits. Like, it doesn't really matter to me. It's still a brownie. If it's a good brownie, it's a good brownie. They're asking which one's better, dumbass. I'm sorry, okay? I've spent all of stream today arguing, like, Twitter level arguments, okay? Give me a break. The question does imply you have the choice between the two. I think, like, I don't know. Because usually I'm eating the edges, I'm gonna pick the middle, maybe. I don't know. I don't care. Middle. Okay. Wow. Okay, we're split on this. The best brownies have had some herb in it. That is weird. Oh, never mind. It's not weird. I was like, what? Why would you put that in? Oh, never mind.
LOL.
The edge piece argument is just that you want the crunchier part. I think I like the softer part. The crunchy is cool too. I can appreciate both, but I prefer probably the softer bit. Did you say herb the American way? I did, and I'm ashamed. I did, and I'm ashamed. I apologize. Sock, shoe, or sock, shoe. What the hell are you talking about? What? How is this an argument? This isn't even an argument. This is not an argument. This is not an argument. You are putting your socks on way earlier because you're when you're putting your socks on, you're putting your, you're getting ready, you're putting the rest of your clothes on, you're putting your socks on, and then you run around the house, making sure, you got your keys, your wallet, whatever. You're packing up, you're closing the windows, you're like, you're turning things off, you're doing everything, and then when you're at the door,
TF does sock shoe.
you slip your shoes on, and then you go.
Love some hot and soft brownies. Even if I scald my tongue.
True. Hot and soft brownies. Greater than sign. I'm sock shoe. That's fucked up. Do you have like... Can I ask if you have your own place? Is that appropriate? Because like, if you have your own place, then like you have to run around and make sure that everything is set. So you put your socks on as like sort of one of your last procedures. When you put your socks on, you are ready to leave, in the sense that like, if your person is allowed to leave now. But you should be doing some last minute checks and preparations around the house, making sure everything's in line, or the apartment, whatever. And you make sure everything's in line. You're turning everything off, you're closing the blinds, you're doing whatever. You're setting something up, maybe you're defrosting, you're taking something out of the freezer to defrost, you're doing something of the sort. And then you put your shoes on, you leave. I have my own place. Okay, that's weird then. Because if you didn't, and you don't really have the responsibility of like, I have to make sure I shut everything down before I leave, then that makes sense to me, that you would do like sock shoe, because then you would just do your sock at the door, and then when you're done with your sock, you're just ready to go. But like, you put your socks on first, because you change first. You change first, put your socks on, you run around the house making sure everything's fine, then you get to the door, you slip your shoes on, and you leave. That's the procedure.
I like completing one thing before starting another.
Okay, but like, you didn't complete your socks yet. Do you okay, next question. Do you take your socks off when you're at like a friend's place? Irregardless of whether or not they ask you to. So pretend like they're like, okay, sure, you do what you want, whatever, right? And there's no rule. Do you take your socks off at your friend's place? No. Yeah, like, so you shouldn't. I take off socks and shoes. There you go. That's... Okay, I found it. Yep, there you go. I found that. Yeah, it's because you take your socks off at your friend's place. I do not take my socks off at my friend's place. Socks on unless you plan to make love to the homie. That's one way to put it, but like, yeah. So you keep your socks on because the socks are one unit. It's like one thing. So Holiday, for you, you're saying like, I like completing one thing after before starting another. I do too. And my socks are one thing. My left and right socks together are one thing. It's not like my left foot and my right foot are one thing and another. It's my socks are one thing and my shoes are another thing. And the reason why we have that, like, one of the reasons why I suspect we have that disagreement is because you take your socks off when you're at someone else's place. I keep my socks on, like, I need to keep my socks on without my shoes, like, if I'm at someone's place. That is, like, integral, okay? I'm not showing people my feet. This is, like, it's uncalled for. It's uncalled for. So, like, the unit, the thing is the socks. The socks are the thing. So, I understand that I like doing one thing and then another. That I understand. But the reason why we're having this disagreement is because you don't see your socks as one unit, because you see your socks merely as part of the shoe. Your socks are not part of the shoe. Your socks are a separate entity from the shoe. The shoe is for external elements. The socks are for your friend's house. Your bare grippers are for when you're in the shower and at home. Okay, like that, those are the rules. Those are the rules. Sometimes I do sock shoe because I put a sock in while I'm there. The shoe is more at hand than the other sock. That's weird. Please don't say Clippers. uh. These are not my rules. Yeah, so like it depends. So I'm not saying you're wrong because like I see where you're coming from, and I see where the disagreement lies. The disagreement lies in like something that I'll just chalk up to cultural difference, I guess. You're mansplaining holiday psychology.
Okay, but if I'm at a
I'm
friend's
not
house and I sleep
mansplaining.
over, I'm not sleeping with socks on, and when I walk around in the morning before getting dressed, I am not putting my dirty socks back on.
Of course you're not. If you're at a friend's house and you sleep over, you are not sleeping with your socks on. Yes, you take your socks off when you're sleeping in the bed. If you're there for a sleepover. If you're just hanging out, you keep your socks on. If you're just hanging out. If otherwise, you take them off, shower, and then you go to bed. And then the next day, you put on a clean pair of socks, like how you put on a clean like shirt for the sleepover. Like if you're sleeping over at someone's place, are you not showering? You are showering. So if you're showering, you've got a set of clothes to change, and that includes the socks.
Already lost me, I'm a morning showerer.
That's crazy. That's fucked up. You can shower in the morning, but you also have to shower in the night. I will never understand that, actually. I will not understand. Like, I will not understand. I can understand morning showers. I cannot understand if a morning shower is your only shower. That's fucked up to me. That's weird. I brought a sleeping bag. I'm on the air mattress. Dude, whatever. My skin will dry out. That's what moisturizer's for. That's the whole purpose. That's why it exists. Shower at night only and after gym. Correct. Objectively correct answer. Well done. Objectively correct answer. Chris hates your skin. I hate mine too. iPhone or Android? I am a VTuber, so iPhone. There you go. Why? The phones are... Look, okay, if you're a VTuber, you want the best forward-facing facial capture technology, and that's what the iPhone has. That's the standard. So you're agreeing with sock, shoe, sock, shoe. I'm not agreeing with sock, shoe, sock, shoe. Sock, sock, shoe, shoe is the way. I think if you do sock, shoe, you live in a very different mode of existence to mine. And I can respect that. To some degree. Like, this is a cultural difference. But I wouldn't do this because of the way I've interacted with other people. And you can point out, okay, like between the iPhone, let's come back to the iPhone Android thing. You can point out as many like pros as you want for Android, half of which are getting shut down anyways because Samsung's, I believe, getting a grip on it. Like the whole being able to install stuff more like freely thing, being able to not have to go through the official store to just have something on your phone. Well, that's no longer the case now because Samsung, or is it Samsung? Oh, I keep saying Samsung. No. It's Android, right? I don't know. I don't know what the fuck the companies are, the brand. I don't care. I don't care what the companies and brands are. But most of the cons are fading away. And all that's left is the fact that the iPhone has a slightly better like selfie camera, which is helpful if you're a VTuber. And I'm a VTuber, so the iPhone is what I pick. Are you telling me that if you're pissed drunk and you get a cab back, you're taking a shower before bed? Yes! No, dude, my ass is taking off my makeup and going the fuck to bed in the shirt I wore that day. That's crazy. That's fucked up. No. I would not bring my external grime to my, like, internal mattress. That wouldn't happen. It wouldn't happen. Google's shutting down the Play Store? No, they're making it so that everything you download on your Android device has to go through an official Play Store licensing, I think. You're fucked up? No, I'm clean. I'm clean and I have a clean bed that is only going to, like, that is only going to have the capacity for clean people. I'm sorry. This is just how it is. I have both a Samsung personal phone and an iPhone work phone. I mean, if you have both, you can just use both. I think there's, like, no reason if you need 2 phones for some reason. There's no reason not to get one of each. Unless you want to airdrop stuff, I guess. But airdrop is pretty good. Airdrop is pretty good. Look, okay. Airdrop is pretty good for iPhones, okay? I believe they're working on a thing where now you can airdrop to, like, non-iPhone devices too. But, like, it being an Apple exclusive thing made sense for, you know, their market purposes and all that. And it was also just, like, a good function. What are your thoughts on toe shoes? What the hell? What? Fashion disasters every man should ditch right now is the headline. If you're doing a specific thing, like a specific sport that requires it, then it's funny, but whatever. Otherwise, if you're just going out like that, that's funny as fuck. And you're gonna don't have the image. God damn it. Then like this is what you get. Okay? If you wear this, that's the result, okay? That's the result. Does a straw have 1 hole or 2? Fuck. Okay, hold on. Set your iPhone to accept an airdrop and go to the Ren Fair. Oh boy, the stuff you'll get sent. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing accept all airdrop. That's not what's happening to me. What is a hole? I remember this is one of the this was one of my favorite questions in like high school. I would love to open. I loved opening with this question. I loved like sitting down with some friends, and then like, you know, picking up our drinks or whatever, and then, you know, fiddling around my straw, and then all of a sudden turning to them and going like, "How many holes is this?" They covered this in Judge Magni. They did it. They also covered this on Vsauce. 1 hole, 2 openings. Yes. So the answer, it's like, I think it is a fairly clear-cut answer, is it's 1 hole, 2 openings. And a hole necessitates... Well, it doesn't necessitate that, but a hole oftentimes encompasses 2 openings or multiple openings. Like if you think of like a cave, and you think of like multiple exits to a cave, is that 1 hole or is that 2 or 3? How, like if there are 5 exits to the same tunnel, is it 1 tunnel or 5 tunnels? It's 1 tunnel. It just has different exits. It just has a certain amount of exits. If it's a hole in the ground that doesn't go anywhere, then you can call it a hole too, but you know, that's because it only has 1 exit. And the exit is where you dug it from, right? If it's connected, it's all 1 hole. So it has 1 hole. Yeah. Is it a hole? Whatever. I'm not even reading that. I'm not even gonna read that. Smooth or chunky peanut butter? I like chunky. Fuck. Damn. So then in Interstellar, why do they call it a wormhole, not a worm opening? Because it's a hole. Because there's like... Because every hole has at least 1 opening. Now then you go, oh, what if I go to my backyard right now and I grab a shovel and I like dig... And I dig it up. I dig up some dirt. Is that a hole then? Charis Euphranor? Yes, it's a hole. Yes. And you go, well, where's the opening? The opening is where you fucking dug it from. That's the opening. If it went through the earth and went all the way to the other side, I don't know where you live right now geographically, but like imagine it was the opposite side of the world and you dug a hole all the way there, it would still be 1 hole. It just now has 2 openings instead of 1 opening. Okay, it's the same damn hole. but it's not used as a hole. It's a tunnel. So are tunnels not holes? In that case, if a tunnel isn't a hole, then a straw has 0 holes. If a tunnel isn't a hole, then a straw has 0 holes because it is just one tunnel. A straw is a tunnel. So tunnels are holes. And if tunnels are holes, what makes the difference between multiple holes is not how many openings it has, but whether or not it is separated or connected. If you have 2 holes, if you have 2 tunnels in a cave that do not ever intersect and connect, you have 2 tunnels. If they at any point intersect, then it's one tunnel with multiple entrances and exits, depending on your orientation. But let's just, the mouth is a hole. The mouth is a hole with one opening, yes. The mouth is a hole with one opening. A straw is one hole with 2 openings. Is the human body a tunnel by that logic? Yes. Yeah, it is. It's a tunnel for the shit that goes in and the shit that comes out. Like the figurative shit that comes in and the literal shit that comes out. Like that's what your body is a tunnel for. Not true. Your mouth is 2 openings. You're right. You're kind of right. Yeah. If you're thinking of your mouth as connected to your whole system, your whole body, then yeah, there are 2 holes because it can go into your mouth and it exits through some other way, right? Yeah, it can. But then it's not like the mouth hole. The mouth is just the entrance to the hole. The whole hole, or the tunnel, really. The tunnel is the human body tunnel, right? Fi's got to back me up on this. Can't. I don't think I have any more authority to speak on the matter. But it's one tunnel, isn't it? How long is this game? We're on the last thing. We're on the last thing. We just got to the last thing. So is it hole one way or 2 ways? A hole is a hole. A hole can have 1 way or 2 ways. That would still make it one hole. What makes it multiple holes is if they are not connected together. Let me think. Oh god, I got toe shoe jump scared. Jeez. Okay, observe the diagram. Okay? This is one hole. It has 1 entrance. This is one hole. It also has 1 entrance. And by entrance, I mean it has an opening or whatever. Is there an Hold on. Maybe this one? Okay, I don't know. Okay. Is there one that's okay, imagine if this went all the way through. I don't have the vocabulary for this, but imagine if this hole went all the way through to the other side. This would still be one hole. It just has 2 openings. It's got an opening here, and it's got another opening behind the block of cheese here. This is one hole. It has 1 opening. The opening is here. If there were another hole next to this one, nearly identically, that also just shot through the whole cheese, there would be 2 holes here. These would be 2 different holes. If at some point, although it shot all the way to the other side, and somewhere in the middle, they were entangled and intertwined, and you didn't see it maybe from the outside, but the inside they're intertwined, then this is no longer 2 holes, it's 1 hole again. They have combined together to form a bigger hole. You could call it a tunnel too. I like to call it a tunnel, but that's what it is. It's why the saying is you climb out of the hole, not crawl out of a tunnel. I don't know why. I don't know. Sorry, I don't know what point you're making with that. People with trypophobia look away. Trypophobia is not that bad. Sorry, cheese is not that bad for trypophobics, right? I actually don't know. I don't know anyone that has trypophobia. Sorry if you have trypophobia, I guess. I didn't really think about it. It's like, I'm thinking of the weird fruit with the bulging, like, I'm not going to think about that anymore, actually, because it makes me uncomfortable, too. But, is that a nook or a cranny? What is the difference? A corner. A small, narrow space or opening. This is a nook. This is a cranny, I think. This is a nook. This is a cranny. They are both holes with one entrance. I think. I'm actually not sure. I actually don't know. I have no idea, actually. I don't know what the difference between nook and cranny is. I don't. I'm going to be real with you. I've always just used nook and cranny as the turn of phrase, but I've not actually investigated or explored what those words individually mean. You got me there. I would argue it's two holes until you know for certain that the hole leads all the way through to the other side. Yeah, so if you know that it leads all the way through the other side, like it's a tunnel, then it's one hole again. How about crevice? I like a good crevice. Is that it? No, a crevice is not a hole, is it? A crevice is not a hole. It's not fully contained by the object. If there were rock here and there were rock here, then it would be a hole. Otherwise, it's just a crevice. Yeah, your armpit is a crevice. There you go. There you go. That's it. Is it just me, or like these images are very like I don't know if I should show this. I don't even know. I'm gonna go away on that, actually. I'm just gonna click away on that. I think we should stop talking about holes. I think we're okay. Okay. Excuse me. What was the peanut butter case? I've forgotten what the peanut butter case is. Smooth is what most people voted for. I like chunky, but both is fine. I don't really care too deeply for this. This is fine. Now that the internet has decided the big questions, you are finally free from the endless debates. I am. Not because I've agreed with all the takes here, but because I have established what I want to say. Everything that I want to say about these internet arguments, I've said. I think in full. What are the takes I missed? Zero. Do I have to? Okay, I'll do a recap just for you. Okay, I'll do a recap just for you. Here are the takes. How do you pronounce GIF? Is it GIF or GIF? Most people said GIF. I think it's GIF because, or I made a whole spiel about how like I swap it around depending on who I'm talking to, and I adapt based on that. And then at some point, at first I start with just whatever pronunciation the other person has opted for, and then later I adapt it to be the other one just to annoy them. Is the dress blue and black or white and gold? It is objectively blue and black, but my eyes are fucked up. I think. I don't know exactly, and I can only see white and gold. But it is objectively blue and black. It's been explained to me. I understand it intellectually, but it's fucking me up. What came first, the chicken or the egg? The egg comes first for sure. The egg definitely comes first. The chicken does not, I believe, because they didn't specify chicken egg. Now, if they specify chicken egg, they'd have to specify what constitutes a chicken. And in which case, then it would just be a recursive argument, but otherwise the egg comes first. Should a sandwich be cut diagonally or horizontally? Diagonally. This is correct not just in aesthetic, but also in the way you eat it. You want the corner in your mouth. You want the corner in your mouth first. Then you get the fatter bit of the sandwich, and then you get to the last bit at the end. And if there's like a sort of beginning, middle, end in the journey. Okay. Is cereal a soup? No, the fuck it isn't. The reason cereal is not a soup is because soup, the core of soup, the essence of soup is the broth. Like it's so important. The broth makes the soup the soup. Cereal isn't soup because what makes the cereal is the cereal. Not the milk. Toilet paper over or under? It is over because if it were under, it would be inconvenient. And so under is correct if you have a cat. But that's only because you're intentionally making it inconvenient. If you have a cat or a toddler, I guess. Pepsi or Coke? Coke is better according to most people. I voted Coke, but I really don't care. I genuinely cannot taste the difference between Coke, Pepsi, any sort of cola, store brand cola. I cannot tell the difference. It doesn't matter to me at all. If I asked for Coke and they gave me Pepsi, I wouldn't know. Is pineapple on pizza good? It can be. I said yes, it could be. I am a little bit of a stickler for just the classic Italian margherita. But I can understand if you want to put pineapple on your specific style of pizza. Don't just put pineapple on like an Italian pizza. That'd be fucked up. You'd have to adapt the whole thing. And one of the ways you do that is by, you know, doing the Hawaiian. That's one way to do it, I think. Star Wars or Star Trek? I don't care. It's Dune. I think I picked Star Wars. But like Dune is the correct answer here. Would a dog wear pants like this or this? It would wear pants like that because only humans wear pants like that. Humans wear pants like this because they walk on their hind legs. So if we were to put pants on a dog, we were assuming that it's also walking in its hind legs, so we're putting it at the back. Could Jacket fit on the door in the movie Titanic? Maybe he could have fit there, which is what people said when they said yes, but I voted no because I was answering the spirit of the question, which is that yes, he could have fit on the door, but then he would float. Sorry, the door wouldn't float if he got on it. Or it wouldn't float as well. It would be submerged a bit and then they'd both freeze to death. And that's why he didn't get on. Not because he didn't fit on it or whatever. Because of the buoyancy. Are hot dogs a sandwich? No, they are not. This is because if someone asks you, if a friend asks you to buy them a sandwich, if they ask you to help them get them a sandwich, then you would go out and buy a sandwich. And maybe if you're really stretching it, you could get a burger. But you cannot get a hot dog. If you get a hot dog, they're going to look at you like this. So you don't want to get a hot dog. Even if you're like, oh, but a hot dog is a sandwich because it's like if you start going there, then you are being looked at in that way. So you don't want to do that. Marvel or DC, both are just not very interesting right now, but I guess Marvel, sure, whatever, has provided me with more entertainment over the years. Should we get rid of daylight savings? Yes, I want a unified like time zone that we can like time zones. I understand, but can we not shift those same time zones around like twice a year? That's annoying. Xbox or PlayStation? This is dead. This debate is just dead. Nobody cares for Xbox. Are we living in a simulation? We cannot properly determine whether or not we are, but even if we are, we should act as if we don't. Because this could be The Sims. It could be, this could just be a simulation, a game to a teenager, some sort of alien teenager, you could imagine, right? Well, maybe, but to you, this is everything. So you should act as if it were everything to you, because it is. Even if it's not everything to like, in the quote-unquote grand scheme of things. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie? Die Hard was not assigned Christmas movie at birth, but has later become genre fluid and is or like by genre and is therefore a Christmas movie and an action movie. Middle brownie piece or edge piece? I picked the middle because I enjoyed maybe the soft gooiness of it a bit more than the crunchier bits, but I don't really care realistically. Realistically, I eat the edge more because I just eat whatever's in front of me and I'm not reaching my fingers into the deep center of the brownie, right? That's not what I'm doing. Unless it's exposed. Sock, shoe is incorrect for me. Sock, shoe is the way to go because you put your socks on first as one unit. And then you walk around the house checking for your keys and your wallet and checking to see if you've shut everything off, and then you go. And then you put your shoes on and then you go. So you always do, so you do the socks first. Socks are in like the transition phase. When you've got your socks on, when you're leaving the house, right? There is a phase between, you phase shift between socks, okay? Before you put your socks on, you are still at home. You can still be at home. The moment you put your socks on, you are not at home anymore. You are going out. iPhone or Android? I'm a VTuber, so iPhone, because you want that selfie camera that looks a little better, that captures a bit better. Does this straw have one hole or two? It is one hole with two openings. Smooth or chunky peanut butter? Chunky. But I guess everybody disagreed. I don't really mind. Actually, I'll have smooth or chunky. I don't really care. Oh. Where are we at right now? Ad hominem attacks. Okay. Sock, shoe. I get everything done first before I put on my socks and shoes. The socks are not part of the shoes. The socks are their own entity that you use for when you are visiting a friend at their place, but not staying for the night. That's my argument for it. Your argument is I take my socks off when I'm at my friend's place, which you can do. I just think it's weird. I just don't want my bare feet visible unless I plan to sleep there. During the sock shoe segment, I swear I heard you misspeak and say, not saying that. Oh, but why would you take your socks off? That's what I've been asking. Whatever. Anyways, that's it. We've settled everything. You may also like life stats. What is life stats? I'm not giving you my fucking birthday. Are you crazy? Are you crazy? I'm not giving you my birthday. Universe forecast. What is the future of the universe? Using science, we can make predictions. Excuse me. Halley's Comet will return. Pluto will complete its first orbit. After traveling billions of kilometers, Voyager 1 will finally reach the Oort cloud. Oort is a funny word. Oort cloud. The star VY Canis Majoris will explode in a supernova in 50,000 years. A new Hawaiian island will surface in 75,000 years. In 100,000 years, many of today's constellations will be unrecognizable. In 1,000,000 years, 2 of Uranus's moons will collide. The planet can't catch a break. That's pretty cool. Oh. In 50 million years, the Martian moon Phobos will slowly break up. Anyways, I just stopped being distracted. That's it. That's the whole stream. Okay, that's the whole thing. It's the Let's Settle This website. It's like Neil. I'll put the link in. I'll put the link in the thing.
https://neil.fun/let's-settle-this.
There you go. That's the one. This is my favorite episode of Power Wash Simulator. I don't know why it's in your description, but it is. It is? I thought I changed it. I need to change it. Hold on. What is it? Well, it's too late now. It's not power. No, this is like, I don't know, entertainment, I guess. It's not gaming, but God damn it. Whatever. It's fine. I have, dude, okay, never mind. I had like 75% likes. I was like, what happened? What did I say? And then it's just one dislike. It's because nobody liked it. It's because one person disliked it. Probably because they don't like my opinion, which is fair. You can feel free to dislike me. That's okay. You can do that. If only I had a mod. I don't need a mod. You know what I need? I need universal healthcare and universal basic income. You know what I need? I need 1,000 YouTube subscribers so I can start earning ad revenue from Google. That's what I need. There's nothing else like I need. Okay? I need affordable rent in this economy. That's what I need. I need affordable rent. Okay? I need to be recognized for my contributions. Generally speaking. Just generally speaking. That's something I need. I need many more things that I can't reveal because that would get too personal, so I'm not going to. But those are all the things I'm gonna willingly publicly announce my needs. Could you check if your Velocity video is under Power Washing Simulator? It is, because it was a Power Washing Simulator like stream. Any type of engagement pushes your streams to other people, so dislikes are just as good as likes. Sure, if you want. Hey, could you mod hand? That's a great question. No. No, I can't. Or I could, but I'm not going to. Also, never mind. I got nothing. I got nothing. Could you do ASMR? No, stop asking. Stop. I said when I would do it. I said when I would do it. I'm doing it when I have 1,000 subs and not a single subscriber sooner, okay? Not a single one sooner. What do you mean, never mind, say it? Okay. I am the Chad, and that's you. Checkmate. That's your opinion, and my opinion is the good opinion. That's your opinion. There you go. That's the I feel kind of bad. I feel kind of bad because I genuinely think this guy deserves being made fun of, but not for his looks. Because like you should make fun of him for like the outrageous comments that he's making. You should make fun of him for being like annoying. You should do that, but you shouldn't make fun of him because he's not very conventionally attractive, for example. Like, that's not okay. But it's hard not to, because it's not just that he's conventionally a certain like unattractive, but he presents in a certain way that is so stereotypically Reddit mod core that you have to acknowledge that, like, if this were a bit, this would be like A+ costume design, wouldn't it? Objectively untrue, because I get more bitches than you. So I couldn't even be a Reddit mod by definition. You're a Discord. You are a Discord mod. Checkmate. Reddit mod as starting screen, please. I'm not putting him as my starting screen. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. You said you were going to release the ASMR regardless if you hit 1,000. You said it during your Doom Spiral and the botched E33 stream. You'll see. You'll see what I mean by that and why there is a contradiction there and how that contradiction resolves. If you show that guy one more time. I'm not showing him again, but I'm just saying it was a really funny video. It was a really, really funny video. Okay, I'm going to go now. Oh, wait, hold on. Where am I going? Where am I going? Where am I going? Where am I going? I wanted to just come back here briefly. Thank you for being here and watching my stream, I guess. I don't know. I'm not used to thanking people. I'm used to just kind of going away. But I realize it's probably not very polite to not thank people, because some people are coming here from philosophy for the first time, which I apologize for again. I'm so sorry if you wanted like a philosophy major to give you like facts about Plato and you ended up with this. So my apologies. If you want a more academic pursuit, may I recommend Axion, who's gonna start a stream in like 20 minutes, I think. May I recommend him? Where is he? Where's Axe? There he is. Yeah, he's streaming in like 20 minutes, okay? He's gonna teach you social skills. I can't really raid into him because one, I'm not big enough to do the raid function, but two, also like the stream hasn't started yet and I don't really want to wait another 15 minutes for the stream to start. Anyways, if anyone wants to improve their social skills, and I think that's a good idea, and you want to learn philosophy from someone who has like a PhD, you should go to that guy. It's not really a raid because the stream hasn't started yet, but like, you know, it doesn't really work, but I'm not going to wait another 15 minutes. I'm really tired. I'm not going to wait another 15 minutes. If you want to show up to Axis stream, just say like, hello, Charis Euphranor sends his regards or something, and then say that he's asleep now or whatever, right? You could do that if you want, but yeah. The Jazz Punk stream isn't happening, is it? It'll happen like eventually, but not now. I have no plans for it in the near future. Great job today, Care Bear. There's no part of me that's like Care Bear like, I think. I don't know. Are you excited for February? Will there be karaoke on February? I'm excited for February, yes. Will there be karaoke on February? Hopefully. You know what I am excited for though? This week we're doing well, we're playing another game. What are we playing? What are we playing? We're playing Little Misfortune today. Not today, on Friday we're playing Little Misfortune, which is pretty good according to some of you. And then on Saturday we are playing Absurd Trolley Problems with Millennium, Mylin, and Z. I've collaborated with Millennium and Z before on this channel and on their channel, so you would know. So you might know who they are. I have not collaborated with Mylin before. Mylin is a
the smiling Charis Euphranor is gonna steal me soul.
Yes, it is. And yeah, I don't know how else to describe the content. It's just like it's Mylin reads psych papers and stuff, and he's a super interesting individual from what I've gathered and from the streams I've watched. Anyways, four of us are gonna do a big stream. I'm gonna title it something along the lines of like, can I teach 3 STEM majors ethics or something like that? It's something to sort of play to the strength of the branding or whatever. But it really is just the 4 of us getting together and finally doing this thing that we've talked about for a long time. We have talked about doing a trolley problem stream together since when? Since like half a year ago, I think. So it's been like, we've just never had the opportunity to actually like go and do it. So I decided to take it into my own hands and go, all right, we're going to do this week. It's going to happen this week, and I'm going to do this. And I just was hoping that all 3 of them would say yes, and they did. So thankfully we're doing it this week. But I was like, we're going to do it this week. It's going to coincide with me uploading it, hopefully finishing on time, and uploading a video on the trolley problem so that it's kind of relevant. And it's just, you know, we can just get it over with. We can just do it. So we can finally actually do the thing that we wanted to do for a long time. And thankfully they all said yes, so that's happening this Saturday. I get scared every time you say you have high expectations for a game. I do too, but I think that's part of what makes it exciting, isn't it? What if the STEM majors have a better sense of morality than the philosophy major? They might just. I'm not an ethicist, but from what I understand, ethicists do not behave ethically. Or they do not behave more ethically than the average person. Because they know what they can get away with. You need mods for story-based games? We'll decide it on the day. We'll decide it on the day. I don't really care for doing that now. I also demand a wrench. Stop demanding power from me, okay? We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out on Friday. Friday is when we're doing that. Okay. Thank you. Goodbye. And if I don't see you, what does he say? If I don't see you, and if I don't see you, good morning, good evening, and good night.
I'm not demanding, I'm
good
asking
afternoon,
politely.
good evening. Good afternoon, good
Suggesting.
evening, good night. Is that what he says? I don't really remember what he says, but I'm not a fan of that catchphrase. I'm much more of a fan of the ending line. What else is on? That tugged at my core a bit more than the TV catchphrase, I would say. All right, get out of here. Goodbye.
Good life.
Good life indeed. Have a good life, yeah. Until we run you over on Saturday. Until that happens, have a good life. So long, Space Cowboy. That is something he says. No, that is not. That I was thinking of another actor. Who says that? Somebody says that. Somebody who plays Woody. Tom Hanks, there you go. Tom Hanks' brother Jim Hanks voices Woody in the video games and attractions and other things. I didn't know that. Interesting. That was Cowboy Bebop? Fuck. I'm missing it today. Damn it. I haven't watched Cowboy Bebop. I don't know. I've only watched probably like half an episode at some point in my life and went like, that's kind of cool. Whatever. Whatever. Get out of here. Go away. No, I'm embarrassed.